Oh shit, we missed all the good stuff already?
That's what the BTS is
That's
for.
recording.
All right. Well, we got some extra juicy stuff for the Patreon. This is a fun episode already. We should have recorded all that, but
Didn't you guys?
We did. It's on the behind the scenes.
It's on the behind the scenes
So
stuff.
you
Yeah.
stitch it in.
Yeah. So today I'm excited about bringing this next guest on because Greg Hake is our new guest. We've been friends for a long time. Your camera's right there. And so former team guy, obviously, because that's all our network and all the cool people we know are team guy. Most of them. which Chris Nick is stoked on.
Chris is like, yeah, that's great.
And then also wild stories about growing up, which we'll get into, interesting stories in the teams. And then also we were instructors at SQT together, which was super fun. And I know because we talked for like a half hour.
You guys dated for a little while too, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I mean, now that that's out in the open.
No, we just had butt sex. We didn't really date.
It wasn't that serious. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this, man. Thanks for coming on. And
Thanks for having me.
Because also you're still like out in the world doing the whole business stuff, which you can get into as well, whatever you want to get into.
Sure.
But yeah, dude, thanks for coming on, man. We're excited to have you.
I'm excited too. I've done a handful of podcasts, and this was the first one where I was like, oh shit, I better be locked on for this. Like the guests that you guys have had on here, I'm like, this is entertaining to watch. Like, hopefully I don't come in here and just fuck it all up.
No, it's impossible to fuck this up because the only thing we do is the same thing that you've already done 10,000 times. Hang out with your friends and have drinks and talk shit.
Yeah, it's like sitting
really
in a platoon
it, dude.
space on a fucking Friday afternoon.
It's been a minute since I've done that for sure. I miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, honestly, we kind of missed it too, and that's why we're doing it, you know?
I dig it. Yeah, you told me yesterday on the phone that you had Ivan in here. I haven't seen that episode yet.
Oh, Krusik, dude, he had such a good time, man. He was texting me later. He's like, dude, that was so fucking rad. It was like therapy. It was like being back with the boys again. And if you guys know Ivan Krusik, like he's not like the type to like kind of gush over emotional stuff.
Yeah.
But he was like super stoked on it. But yeah,
That was a good
it was a fun episode.
Like there's a lot of weird shit about him that I didn't even know. Like
totally.
all the like fighting shit that he did and
That podcast feels like 3 years ago.
Doesn't
Oh,
it?
shit.
I know. We released our first one in, I think, April on Instagram. We started shooting in February.
I mean, that one was.
Oh, that's right. We started, I think, shooting in February was
We
our
need
first.
to throw a birthday
year,
bash
almost a year.
every year for us.
Yeah,
Our
we gotta-
first episode was in
should.
February.
I think we started, because I made the actual page in February, but we didn't post anything until April. So somewhere about a year ago, we started filming.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out a
back.
date, and then we'll
We're
like
coming up.
I just
Yeah.
remember seeing the merch, and I was like, this is pretty legit.
Thanks, bro.
This is
Everybody,
cool.
I think hands down the marble red kind of mock-up. I
dig that
everybody
one.
asking me for. Everybody's
Dude,
asking
I'm
for
seeing that fucker everywhere too now. Like
Sweet.
like I've seen it. Not ours,
Oh,
but
the
I mean
design?
other companies that are like.
I did. Yeah, Clandestine Media actually did it this year for their hats at Chacho. I saw
Oh,
that.
yeah. I was definitely not the first to rip that off from
Yeah.
Marlboro. Yeah. I saw it on somebody else. I'm like, that looks dope. Wonder how it'll look with our shit.
Plagiarism is a beautiful thing.
yeah.
Yeah. But I figure there's so many people doing it, like, chances of them coming
I guess
after
you don't
us,
really
like, eh.
notice it until like it's your shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh fuck.
It's like having a yellow car. Like, you don't notice them until you have a yellow car.
I think if anything, Marlboro will take free advertisement these days, considering all the vapes and
Are they even still a
Don't they have a
company?
pot line now too, or something like
I
that?
heard that
Or-
they were starting that.
Marlboro?
Yeah,
don't they? I mean, it'd be
yeah.
smart for
I
them
was
to do
even
that.
surprised that Marlboro still exists.
He'd be like the Marlboro man, but he's,
No, you would be surprised, man. I had to
he's,
go buy a pack
he's
of
riding like a
cigarettes the other day.
Subaru with dreads.
Blazing it up, smoking the devil's
Dude,
lettuce.
apparently Sam Darnold's dad was the Marlboro man.
Who's Sam Darnold?
It's fucking Super Bowl week. You know who Sam Darnold is?
Bro, I don't even know who's playing in the Super Bowl. Are you freaking, I played badminton in high school, bro. Junior varsity. I was
He's the
not
he's the quarterback.
jock.
We need to cut that out.
He's the quarterback for the Seahawks.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Let me
didn't know that
verify
either.
that.
So I'm assuming they're in the Super Bowl this weekend.
Yeah.
Seahawks and the Patriots, actually.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. Cool. I know they have touchdowns.
I love how Kevin just went with the most creamsicle fucking phone ever. This does not match him in any capacity.
I got to get a case still. Well, the case is on the way, but
Was it the only one they had?
no. But I bought Gabby one of these, and it was blue, and the only other color was like some real shitty color. So I figured orange. Orange goes with my like K squared logo. So I'm like, oh.
So I texted him 2 days ago, hey, you're going to be at the show? He's like, who's this? Like, how many motherfuckers you got showing, bro? It's like,
I was totally fucking with you, too. I think I was on the plane, like, coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Did you go to Africa? Is that where you went?
Yeah.
I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah. I've been prepping a movie since, like, August.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's a Denzel Washington movie called Here Comes the Flood.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's one thing that, like, the team guy stereotype, book, yada, yada, yada. I would like to do a movie at some point, even if it's just as an extra. I know
Sounds like a
bunch of
weird
guys
porno
have gone out there.
about squirters or something.
Yeah.
Here comes the flood. Well, it's weird. And when I first read the script, I'm sitting there going like, why the fuck did they call it that? And then like the first character, his name's Noah. I'm like, what?
I see where it's
like,
going.
Come on.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw on Instagram the other day, I was doom scrolling before bed. And there's all the protests happening in Minneapolis, and there's this guy, he's a Hispanic guy, walking through every crowd that he can, holding a sign that says "Squirt us pee."
Just a little disruption.
I was like,
That is fucking
that's pretty
crazy.
legit. Just deadpan face, just like right in the thick of everything.
That would be my protest sign, just to get as close to the Rolex shop as possible.
Not
And they're like,
to get too sidetracked and not to get too fucking detailed, but it's kind of a funny story. I used to have I'm very frugal with my shit. Like I don't spend money. I spend money on stuff I really enjoy, but stuff on like a bed, I don't like spending money on fucking bed. Like I sleep there. I could sleep on a fucking plank of wood. It's fine. But I found that you can get a really shitty mattress for super cheap. And if you put like one of those 2.5 or 3 inch foam,
Like foam toppers, yeah.
yeah, it's fucking great, right? So I had that for a couple years, and then I had this chick that I was dating, and it came into play that how do I say this? The flood came.
She didn't have a penis?
Yeah, so the flood came. Surprise! So my fucking
built your ark?
mattress topper got fucking completely wet. So I thought, this is the first time I'm having to deal with this, and I love this fucking mattress topper. So I was like, I'll just put it in the shower and like wash it off, whatever. Those things absorb like a fucking sponge, bro.
I was going to say, but that
I tried to
that was
pull
a
it out.
bad
I tried to
idea.
pull it out. And this thing's like 300 pounds of sloppy wet
Fucking-
stuff.
fucking
I'm trying
sea
to pull
anchor.
it out, and then it just rips and it's shredded. I'm like, God damn it, bro! I should have just beat off that night.
So did you use it to wrap her dead body in it?
no, dude, that's an 800-pound fucking load you got to take out.
It was heavy, dude.
Fucking
it was
sea anchor.
Yeah, I can't believe how bad that went.
As soon
Yeah.
as I actually never experienced one until I got divorced, and then the first girl I hooked up with post-divorce was a big squirter. And it's a fucking pain in the ass, dude. Like I felt like I was in Big Daddy, laying down like newspapers and stuff on the bed in the
You
hotel
can like
room.
plan ahead, dude. You get like a towel and
Well,
shit.
so then I would just go with two twins, and like one was like the stabbing cabin, and the other one's like where you actually sleep.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 2 twin girls. Like that's
Oh.
that's a good
It's
alternative.
like, wait, one's a squirter and one's not.
Down.
No, yeah, I guess how that is confusing. All right, where were we?
But yeah, that's pretty cool when you get the 2 queen beds at like a hotel. Like one's the bang bed and one's a sleep bed.
I imagine you just jumping back and forth between the two of them.
Oh, I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
Just a big bear.
Yeah, by myself jerking off in both of them. Like, yeah, this is great.
Well, ruined
Service
that
comes
one.
in.
I wonder if we can animate that in AI.
Oh, we can.
Oh, you know you can.
Yeah.
You know you can,
Oh,
dude.
so wait, this is where we were. Sam Darnold's grandfather was the fucking Marlboro Man. You know what his name was?
Oh,
Wasn't he gay?
No, the Marlboro Man. His
Pretty sure he was
name,
gay.
Dick Hammer.
nuh-uh.
Fucking name is Dick Hammer.
Bro, we're not even 10 minutes in and we've got 2 solid porn references.
And
already.
dude,
That's legit.
And the Marlboro Man?
yeah,
Dude,
I
I've
heard
been-
he was gay. Is that not true?
Sam
Better
Darnold.
hope not.
No,
He's
no, no.
a dick
The
hammer.
Marlboro Man?
Marlboro Man.
You can
I
tell.
know. I
mean,
heard he died of cancer.
He
though.
had offspring.
I
So,
heard that.
I think that's legit. I don't know.
Or AIDS.
I don't want to read too
Maybe
much into this
both.
fucking. Dick Hammer was once one of the most recognizable faces in the country as a primary model for the iconic Marlboro cigarette advertisements in the 70s.
If you have a unique name, I feel like you're either doing your kid a really solid or a really solid disservice by naming them something like Dick Hammer. You know what I
Well,
mean?
like, what do you
Didn't we
name
put a
your-
guy through named Merry Christmas or something like that, or some shit like that? There's some
Dude.
strange names that go through selection.
Ted D. Bear. Like a
Teddy Bear, yeah. He's a team guy.
Yeah, he's great, man.
But,
Yeah.
dude, there was his first AD.
His middle name is the letter D. There's
Yeah.
no name. It's just the initial Ted
Nuh-uh.
D. Bear.
Yeah.
This podcast
There was this-
is
there was
wild
this-
His
already.
parents are fucked up.
Dude, there was this female first AD that I worked with on a TV show, and her name was fucking Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle?
Chris Kringle.
See, that's what I mean. Chris Kringle's been around a long time as a name. You got to be kind of a fucked up parent to be like, you know what we're going to name this kid? Chris
Like,
Kringle.
our last name's Kringle. Let's name her Chris. Like,
Right.
well, dude, you remember the Smothers Brothers from the 70s? Tommy, or I think it was Tommy and Dick Smothers. Dick Smothers named his son Dick, and he actually went into porn and he changed his name to something else. And somebody goes, dude, Dick Smothers? And you're changing your fucking name to something else? What the fuck?
Yeah.
To Crystal.
Yeah.
If I was Dick Hammer's, well,
Offspring.
yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like, is there a name that you would really want to own? Like Snatch Hammer,
Clam Hammer.
Clam Hammer, Clam Hammer.
Dude, that was my call sign in Basra, like 08, 09, because we had this fucking guy that was with the OGA with us, and he was a Jewish dude. He called himself the Hebrew Hammer. So I would clown him all the time, like, this is Hebrew Hammer too, and I'm like, this is Clam Hammer.
Wasn't that that wrestler guy's name? Goldberg? The Hebrew Hammer? Wasn't that his name?
I don't know.
That's
Maybe.
back before anyone. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Was he Jewish? Is Goldberg Jewish? I mean, Goldberg. It
Pretty
seems
sure
like
he
a
is
Jewish
Jewish.
name.
He's a damn big
He's a
Jewish guy.
big fucking Jew.
Yeah, he's huge. That's a huge Jew.
He lives in like North County.
Does he? He
Well,
seems pretty cool.
Let's get him on.
I was told he lives in North County. I was getting my actually I was buying my fucking Cadillac up there, and he was up there buying a truck, and I was like,
Dude, funny,
dude, isn't that fucking?
funny connection. When one of the times I broke up with my baby mama, she ended up
The squirter?
No, different one. I only have one kid that I know of. But yeah, when we broke up one time, she ended up banging Goldberg. Maybe
Nice.
that's where the Jew hammer thing came up, or the
Clam
Hebrew,
hammer?
the Hebrew hammer. I think maybe that came from her.
At least it wasn't the one from the Mighty Ducks. That
What
was
was that one?
Goldberg, the goalie.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't remember that.
The Mighty Ducks?
I remember the show, but I don't remember the.
No, there was no show with Emilio Estevez.
I didn't see it.
Holy fuck, dude. I mean, it came out in like 91. You guys aren't that old.
I wasn't watching the Mighty Ducks, though. I was watching shit like Terminator.
Yeah, it's true. You guys have aged out of Mighty Ducks. Sorry.
Yeah, 91. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I
that
was
guy.
growing up in the hockey world.
I was watching Schwarzenegger. Shit.
You were
Back in his
you were
glory
watching
days.
tracking black and white porn.
Dude, 100%. All right, we got way off topic, man. Sorry.
We
yeah.
didn't even introduce our. Well, I guess we kind of did. We
Yeah,
did
but let's-
introduce our
kind
host.
I was warning him this is kind of how it's going to be. Like, just a,
It's all good.
It's a shitstorm of stories, and then like we'll try to bring it back to you on certain occasions. Oh, it's my worst nightmare. We do have a tab in the. Okay, cool. Sorry.
He calls it a tab.
What's a tab?
The SD card. See,
Oh.
that's why I'm not in charge of this shit.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm on this podcast.
I'm going to try to shove a graham cracker in there or something, too. Why isn't this working?
Saltine.
Yeah, totally. All right. Sorry, Greg. So, yeah, we talked about a lot of things, but yeah, where did you grow up, man? I think we'll just start there.
Oh, I'm originally from Nebraska, actually, which you can't tell by looking at me now with my tats and shit. But yeah, I grew up on a farm. I went
Nebraska people don't have tattoos.
Well, they do now, but I remember very distinctly when I was younger, and my mother, I was in the car with my mother, and she pointed out a guy at the gas station, and she was like, "That man's probably been to prison." he had a tattoo, like a single tattoo, like right here, and his sleeves were rolled up, kind of thing.
Life's ruined
like,
for sure.
You know, back in the late 70s,
It's
early
like a
80s.
rose that you could fit under a thumb.
Yeah, something is like small, you know, like nothing like this kind of stuff.
That
but,
man's a hoodlum.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's crazy how times change, man.
for sure. But yeah, I grew up on a farm and literally went to a one-room schoolhouse for a while.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, indeed. So
Were your parents together?
yeah. Well, I mean, they're not together anymore, unfortunately, but they were throughout my childhood. So
Cool. Do you have any, like, brothers and sisters growing up, or is it just you?
I have an older sister, and then I have a younger brother.
Okay, right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. Stereotypical middle child.
Do you guys still get along?
Not too much. Not to get into politics, but I would qualify myself a very much middle of the road, and both my siblings are hard to the left.
Yeah, that's why I don't talk
weird.
to my little brother
Yeah.
or sister either, aside from my youngest brother.
Yeah.
but-
Is Nebraska's not like a blue state, is it?
No,
Is it purple?
it's not. It. I think it might swing.
Purplish?
I mean, the governor might disagree with me, but I think Nebraska could swing blue. But yeah, my sister and I haven't really spoken a whole heck of a lot for a while. We had a little bit of a falling out. My brother and I still talk. We just don't talk about politics, you know, kind of thing.
Was it like a big Thanksgiving blow up, or is it just kind of like a
No,
gradual?
so I had it was my last, not my last back surgery, my second back surgery. So I've had 3 back surgeries, which is great. After my second back surgery, my sister called under the guise of like wanting to check up on me, and then proceeded to push like the COVID narrative. And I'm like, hey, agree to disagree. And then
not good enough for them, dude.
Yeah. And then she started cursing me out, and I was like, this is where I draw the line. I was like, nobody's gonna curse me out while I'm sitting here like this. Oh shit.
See, Anthony Bourdain agrees
Yeah.
with you.
Fucking ghosts.
He hung himself again.
He's taking the leap, dude.
R.I.P. dude.
Just
Sorry.
jump to his death.
Guess that tape didn't work.
We had
Nope.
we had the same thing when I had a bunch of these buttons from Art Espinosa,
Yeah.
Black Art.
Also dead.
He fucking basically fell from like 80 floors, and we had these buttons in the palapa, and the fucking thing kept falling off. We're like, this motherfucker keeps jumping to his fucking death. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
This is what happens after Price comes out.
Kind of like we had
podcast.
Price on, and all our digital equipment just blanked out for a while.
We were talking about aliens
That's
and
fucking
skinwalkers
crazy, dude.
and all
Oh
that.
no shit.
Yeah, because he grew up on an Indian reservation, like doing like blood sacrifices and shit.
Wait,
he's
did our
talking about
cameras
stuff.
do that shit?
Damn.
Yeah, our cameras. No, I don't know if our cameras did, but our audio equipment all blanked out. That was kind of weird. Yeah.
Everyone
Anyway,
looked at me.
I'm
That's a
not
little
spitting
crazy.
yeah. Sorry. Back to
No. So we kind of had that little falling out, and then we haven't really spoken since. My mom turned 75 a couple years ago, and we like were cordial during that whole party thing, and that's
Yeah.
that's the extent of it.
Dude, it's
But-
the weird thing about family, man. Like, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you gotta talk to them; they're your family." But, dude, I totally disagree, man. I think family is whatever you decide it is. I'm way closer to my friends and who I have in my circle now than I ever am with almost anybody in my family, and that's by choice. Because like I get a lot out of my friends, and hopefully they get a lot out of me. But most of my family, they're cool. Like, I like my dad; he's cool. And my little brother is cool. My mom's cool, but like the rest of them, I'm like, well, I don't really get a lot out of it, so I just don't hang out with them. And you don't have to. It's
Yeah,
like,
you don't have to.
You don't
Yeah.
fucking have to. Like, you know what happens if you don't hang out with them? Fucking nothing. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally legal.
No
you
drama.
you don't have to hang out with your family. But yeah, it's surprising how many people fall into this. Like, you have to do these types of things. Like, I think it's always important to ask yourself, what happens if I don't?
Yeah, what is it? What's that line in like Forgetting Sarah Marshall or something? It's like, yeah, I was going to, and then I just decided to keep living my life.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it goes a long way. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. So
No.
Back to you.
No, I mean
Well, that's the fucked up thing too. Like, especially over something as trivial as fucking COVID. Like,
but at the time, you know,
wasn't
like
trivial then.
it was.
but
Nuts,
it ain't like she's got any
you know?
fucking skin in the game. She wasn't like living around you.
No.
Like, what are you going to get her sick? It's like, hey, you need to make sure you do this. They're like,
Well, notice anybody throwing a fit about any of this. Like, it's actually, it doesn't directly influence you. I mean,
Yeah,
COVID,
that shit
like,
blows
we
my
couldn't
mind.
have done anything. And then, like, everybody protesting immigration, they're all white.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just shit that
Yeah.
blows my mind, dude. Like, all this shit going on, like, bitch, you're not wearing a mask. You're like, I'm not even fucking hanging out near you. Fuck off.
I'm not even breathing.
Yeah, it's like, dude, god damn.
Yeah. People get so righteous about
It
shit.
is fucking hilarious. And when you look at shit like that and you realize, like, okay, now I understand how fucking the Nazis basically were like, what? Jew?
Yeah.
Jew? Oh, upstairs? Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the crazy
Somebody
thing.
will
though.
tell on 'em.
Like all the lefties now are like, oh, we're like, they're basically raging for the machine. Like, all the people who
Yeah.
were against the government are now actively
It's crazy how it's
licking boots.
flipped.
You know what I mean? It's fucking wild.
I just saw a video while I was waiting for you guys to show up because I thought this was earlier. But it was a black ICE agent driving by, and they're all like coming up on his vehicle and everything, and like hammering down on him. And he's like, "You a boy or a girl?"
Oh, I saw that.
And then they started calling him a house N-word. And I'm
See,
like,
that's what I mean,
really?
bro.
yeah.
Uncle Tom,
They're like, what are you
shit.
doing, you Uncle Tom? You house? Like,
And they
all of
and
that.
this is white, and they feel totally justified.
Yeah,
doing it, man.
only because now
It's
he's an
fucking
ICE agent.
crazy.
But like, didn't we just deal with BLM a couple of years ago? And they were the
Yeah.
same people breaking down windows and stealing
Well,
Rolexes and
dude,
Nikes for that.
all these people are just
It's unbelievable, man.
they're just NPCs. They're like, I used to think that term
So
NPC was like kind of like, oh, we're in a programmed world, whatever. But also we could be in a very real world, and they're real people. They just do not have individual thought, and they're just going off whatever they're programmed. They might as well be an actual NPC.
Well, it is fucking weird because I think there's two groups of people. Well, there's more than two groups, but there's two groups of people that are actively fucking protesting. Because there's people who believe that ICE is fucked up and they're, brown shirt fucking Gestapo that are,
Yeah,
basically, fucking people's.
yeah, stormtrooper style. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they basically feel like they're
They're like the brown shirts.
stealing
Right.
stealing somebody's fucking rights to throw them in fucking jail or deport them. Like, oh, there's no due process. But there's groups of people that are actually they have to be getting paid because
yeah.
there can't be this many fucking white people that give two shits about fucking
I think they're paid, dude.
immigration, and then there's the group of people that are fucking brainwashed to a certain extent. And I have friends that are like on the fence, and then I have friends that post shit on Facebook, and they're like, this was murder, and this was blah 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 blah. And I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't seen any of this shit. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't know if the dude was fucking killed outright, but
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till I
will
see the
say,
evidence.
you look at all the fucking facts, and you have some fucking nurse from Virginia who traveled to fucking another state to fucking antagonize law enforcement.
I
to
heard he
do,
got fired recently, a couple weeks before that, for inappropriate behavior too. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
or not,
I
or
don't
whatever,
either.
but-
But
You
just,
never know anymore.
I mean, but just look at the fucking broad strokes. You have somebody who, like, dude, I won't even put a fucking bumper sticker on my fucking car. I don't
No.
care about anything that much to
No.
where I certainly ain't traveling to another fucking state
Right.
just to fuck with law enforcement.
no.
It's like, dude, you got to be getting something out of that. Are you getting
I agree.
paid? Or how the fuck do you feel so strongly that
Yeah.
I'm going to drive my ass to some other fucking state to stand up for
Yeah.
some asshole I don't even know who the
Taking
fuck
time,
they
taking time
are.
off work, paying for gas, paying for a hotel,
Yeah.
paying for food.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're all paid.
Yeah.
It's
So he was
fucking
from
crazy.
the guy that just got, well, not just got killed, but like
Yeah, a
got
couple-
killed last week. He was
Yeah.
from Virginia originally, so
Something
that's where
like
he
that.
lives.
Yeah.
There's
So they
another
said
video.
it.
There's another video that showed him doing like kicking a fucking car and like.
I wanna
spilling
look that
on
shit
and
up,
shit.
too.
That, yeah,
But
it's-
he's
What was
fuck
that dude's
guy.
fucking name? It's like Phil
You know what? It's a good thing is no one in this
Pretty.
room knows.
Fetty or
Something pretty.
is it?
Pretty. I think. Pretty
All right,
good.
I'm gonna look it up. 'cause
Well, so
I don't
I-
want to sound like a complete dumbass. I
have a
know they
good-
said he was a nurse that worked at the VA.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, dude, he was like living on the East Coast, and he traveled to Minneapolis to antagonize.
People
and he
do
had a
weird
fucking
shit, man.
and he had a fucking gun on him. Which
Why are you taking a gun to a peaceful protest?
which I get it. I'm all about Second Amendment. Carry if you want, but
Yeah,
there's
that
somebody
comes with
made this
responsibilities,
Yeah,
though.
well, somebody made this fucking graph, and it's like protesting, and then there's like a middle part. It's like protesting while carrying a gun. There's a little part. It's like this is risky, and there's like antagonizing police, and there's like all this shit. Carrying a gun is like risky. There's like these little. It's like, dude,
It's the apex of like all the shit you shouldn't do.
remember
at one time.
Tree Size used to go.
Oh,
Gonna
tree
do something
size.
stupid. Be fucking smart about it. And that was like his saying.
I
They're
lived
like,
by
dude,
that in the army.
Dude. Well, that's honestly why I don't carry a gun a lot of times, is because if you carry a gun, it eliminates a lot of options in between. Like, there's no escalation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your only option is deadly force. That's why I don't carry a lot of times. I'd rather just,
You have
an
a
asshole.
Utilize-
you get it concealed here.
no.
Sorry, I asked.
I mean,
do.
I do it legally at the range. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. all the stuff. Shit, we're getting way off track. Let's get back to your story.
Good shit, though.
Yeah, it's funny.
We're just pulling on the thread,
Yeah,
seeing where it goes.
Yeah. Next
So-
thing you know, it's a tank top.
So you guys all grew up together?
Yeah,
Up there? And
Grew
then-
up together. Grew up on a farm south of a large town, if you will. Not really a working farm, but we had like animals and all that shit. Both my parents are from Nebraska, from opposite ends, and they wanted to duplicate that kind of life for their own children.
That's cool. How'd you like it?
I loved it. I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything. It was very unique in the whole grand scheme of things. I mean, now it's such a far departure from what we see today. Like my own kids when they were younger, and I would tell them stories about my childhood. They'd be like, sounds like Little House on the Prairie. It's like, yeah, there wasn't all this crazy stuff that we have today. Riding horses and scooping shit and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very, very different upbringing, especially than how I live my life now, here in San Diego.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost a
Like,
different
don't even
world.
have a dog. You're like, fuck that shit.
I do have 2 dogs,
I'm just
actually. I thought
kidding.
about bringing them today, but they'd probably be all over the fucking place.
I grew up kind of similar circumstances. I grew up, my grandparents had a farm, and we'd go over there and grow crops and shit, and out there with the fucking cows and pigs and everything.
For
And,
sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, dude.
Yeah, my dad grew up on a hog farm up in north central Nebraska, and I've got this picture on my wall of him, my uncle, and my 3 aunts, and then my grandfather. They're just all just covered in shit. Because, like in pig shit, because it was castrating day, and they're like, pigs obviously don't like that shit. And
Dang.
like I have it on the wall because I'm just like, that's fucking badass. Because they were all successful, and they all learned that work ethic, if you will, from literally scooping shit.
Cutting balls
Dude,
off.
my granddad would do that shit, and it was fucking like pretty fucking horrific, dude. Because he would take the rubber bands and do the cows. He put the rubber band on the cows' balls. But for the pigs, dude, they literally just grab them and just slice them. Oh, God. And then they throw this purple shit.
Is it like a quick lot?
I don't know what it is, but it's
would
almost the
have to
color.
be.
It's almost the
Yeah.
color.
Otherwise they just
That's why I'm like,
Yeah, it's almost the color like the fucking primer you put on like pipes for like
the PVC pipe.
yeah, that was what I remember. But hey, to refresh, I guess I was talking out of my ass. That dude lived in Minneapolis and worked for the Minneapolis VA.
Oh, okay. So he didn't travel.
So
for
he
it.
didn't travel.
Okay.
But
That's correct.
Good to know.
And that's the thing that's kind of
Fake
fucked
news.
up. You hear all this different shit from all these media outlets.
You never know what's true.
You never know what's
who the
true
fuck is
anymore.
right.
Especially with
Which
AI,
I don't even
too.
know
Oh
if
my
this is
God,
true
have
or
you
not.
seen some of the shit that's coming out?
It's
My favorite
crazy.
right now is the JD Vance, the Fat Vance videos that come out where he's like doing zip lines or skydiving or some shit like that and just getting the hell beat out of him.
He's a good sport about it.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking funny.
Seems like, or at least he's come out publicly and said that he thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Well, at some point, like, it's kind of your only option because as soon as you
Yeah.
say you're a little bit mad about
like,
it, guess what's coming, dude? A landslide of
Well,
that
dude,
shit.
and like, have you seen like all the South Park episodes this season? Like they have him as like this little tiny fucking almost like Tattoo from Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Bob, hey, Bob, and he's like this fucking tall. He's like a little short, chubby guy. But and the first time I saw it, I thought it was funny as fuck. But then it's like, dude, every goddamn
he was just at
episode,
Buds. Yeah.
like every fucking episode is about that. I'm like, god damn, like,
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, it's not
I
that
get
funny.
it. The shit was funny, like put it in one episode, but god damn. It's like they're living on that shit this whole season. I used to love
Which show is
fucking
this?
South Park. I used to
Oh, I haven't seen
love
any of the
watching
new
that
season.
shit, dude.
Yeah, I haven't either. Been a little busy with
Yeah.
stuff.
Here, right? I mean, you guys are building an amazing brand here.
We're trying, man. I mean, it's basically my full-time job now. Disney runs, well, both the companies, and then I do a little bit with that. But yeah, this is pretty much my full-time
We're trying
job.
to get a deal with this company here
For the beer
for the
bongs?
Darth Invader.
I was going to say the Darth Invader.
They're doing Liberty Risk edition. Like it'll be
That's pretty funny. Do they show that on camera? May the force be in you.
But dude, we're thinking of making like a pyramid shape, and it'll have each one of our faces on there.
on one side.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
If you want to get really behind the scenes.
yeah.
I like the Kevin texture best, she said.
It'll be real hairy.
All the way up to the head.
Yeah.
It's like Chewbacca dick.
Oh God.
A red rocket.
All
All right, so how did we leave Nebraska, and like what was the, I guess, antithesis of going into the Navy?
Oh man, I just had like a stumbling block of bad experiences, I guess, in my youth. Didn't do well in high school.
In your one room.
Yeah. Well, graduated from the one room and went up to two, you know. No, the high school was a little bit bigger, but it was for all like the feeder schools of the farm, of the surrounding farm area. The nickname for it was literally Cow Pie High.
Oh, wow.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Fucking shit, man.
Yeah, it's still around today. I'm a proud alum.
Does like the whole county go to one high school?
No, there were three that were in the town. So there was like the two in-town high schools, and then there was the one that at the time took all the country kids and fed it into that school.
Bumpkins.
Yep, all the bumpkins, and
Sounds
so
like
that
should
was
be a
Cow
Netflix
Pie
series
High.
or something. Cow Pie
Cow
High.
Pie
Cow Pie High, right? Somebody's sitting there listening to this going, that's a good idea.
It's like
I
the
can just
Midwest
see
version of
everybody's-
90210.
Everybody's in fucking overall, a fucking piece of fucking wheat sticking out of their mouth.
It's like Varsity
No
Blues, but
teeth.
with rodeo.
No
Yeah.
teeth, no shoes.
No, we have teeth in Nebraska. That's West Virginia, I think.
Was there carryover the moonshine? You guys do moonshine up there?
A buddy of mine who was a team guy, he grew up just south of me. We actually met in Buds. He used to make moonshine, and he moved back there after his time in the team, so presumably still makes moonshine.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, there is some moonshine going on there for sure.
All right. Well, American
Nice.
tradition.
Yeah, but struggled in high school. Got the high school girlfriend pregnant after high school, and then was like, "Well, this isn't working." I've always wanted to be a team guy, and I'd wanted to be a team guy since I was a kid. And was like, well, I'll join the Navy and get my life on track. And I mean, this is in the 90s, like pre-widespread internet usage.
Yeah.
And so the recruiters had this like VHS tape. Oh, so you want to
When
be a
did you
SEAL?
join? When did you hear about being a SEAL? Like, who'd you hear? Would you hear about it from the recruiters, or did you know about
I knew about
SEALs?
it beforehand because I was literally like flipping through a Time magazine from like the 80s, and they had a picture of a frogman on the cover coming out of like doing OTB, the shit that you don't want to do in the teams, you know, because you're like, oh, you're fucking wet. And it was, I remember it quite vividly because it was like January or February in Nebraska, and it was just like brown and cold and miserable. And there's this picture of this dude coming out of the water, presumably someplace tropical because it's green. His face painted, he's got the regulator in his mouth. I'm like, that looks badass. And it was such a far departure from my environment at the time. I'm like, that just stuck with me. And then after I got my high school girlfriend pregnant, after we graduated, and I kind of lacked direction, I actually went to school for music for a while.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and was a vocal major, if you can believe that.
Can you sing?
I can.
Wow, that's cool.
I thought it was for playing the slobbering
Yeah.
blues on the Dixieland beat whistle.
I'm not familiar with that instrument, Kevin. I'm sure you're a pro, but
There's one hole in one tune.
what is the technique for that, Kevin? I'm curious. Can you show me? Like,
I don't know. I never
comes the
never was
flood.
much of a major in
yeah, here comes the
slobbering
flood.
blues.
Like a trombone and a flute had a baby.
It's similar to the skin flute. yes.
Dixieland beat whistle.
Kevin's back from Morocco.
All right.
Good shit.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So did that, and then was like, oh yeah, I'll join the Navy and get things back on track. And went to the recruiter and was like, yeah, I'd want to join. I'd love to be a team guy, you know. Or it's like, I want to be a Navy SEAL, and they're like, oh yeah, sure. And
Sure,
they
kid.
plug
Sign here.
Plug the VCR, you know, the videotape into the VCR, and they show buds, and you're just like, okay, yeah, let's sign up for this. And went to boot camp, raised my hand, and turns out that there wasn't a waiver for vision at the time.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, oh, fuck, now what do I do? And so I went to the fleet for a few years as a
How old were you when you went in?
20.
Okay.
I was 20. So I'd like putt-futz
What
around.
year
and-
was that?
97.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
went in the same time I did, yeah.
Yeah. So went in at 97 and Like, I think wasn't there like a dive farer contract or something at the time?
Do you remember when
I went under that.
What month you went in?
May.
Okay. Yeah, I went October. You're a little before me.
Yeah. So I went in May. Mark Peterson at Team 3 was actually in my boot camp.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. And I actually, ironically enough, so fast forward a few years. So did my time at the fleet. That was interesting. My hat's off to people that do 20 plus years in the regular Navy.
Dude,
that is
hard.
hard fucking
What was your
core.
rate?
I was a CT, so I was a spoiled little dork.
The fuck is a CT?
Cryptological
Cryptologist.
technician.
Yeah.
You gotta be smart. to do that.
in the back room, you know.
So when you went in, you went to boot camp and all that shit, and then you go to like classification, get your rate and all that shit. Like,
I had got the CT rate before I went in because
Oh,
it was
right
a source rating at the time. And I was like, I did all the tests, you know, and MEPS and all that crap. And it's like, here's what we've got if you want to go. I'm like, where's the list of source ratings? I'm like, oh, I will do this. I was like, cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So went and did that. But yeah, I went to the fleet for a few years. And like I said, my hat's off to those guys that do that shit. Because there was one day I was actually at a staff command and was at Com 2nd Fleet in Norfolk. And we worked on and off a ship. And there was one day that I was so fucking pissed that I was walking off the ship and tore my uniform off and threw it in the garbage. And someone was like, hey, and I was like, do not fuck with me right now.
Not the
Like,
time, bro.
I will go to the brig. Do not give a shit. I'm like, I've had it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Hey, you
he was like,
have a good day, shipmate.
yeah.
Dude, that's so true, man. Like I know we get a lot of love from everybody for being a lot of hate too. Mostly
Yeah,
from,
for
you know,
sure. I'd be
mostly from
curious to
Army guys, but-
read the hate mails that you guys get. You should put them up on the wall.
Oh no, I mean not the podcast, but
Okay.
I mean team guys in general.
Oh, yeah.
But dude, it really is like honestly one of the best jobs you could ever have in the military. Like everybody thinks you're fucking cool, way cooler than you really are. You get to do really cool shit. You don't have. Maybe the best thing is you don't have to do so much stupid shit. Like you still got to do
Yeah,
dumb
it's
shit.
still some stupid
but compared
shit.
to like the regular Navy,
Yeah.
holy shit, man, those guys have
Like,
a fucking
dude,
hard job.
Standing
dude.
watch on like one of the things that we did while I was in the regular Navy was like, here's a building. And it's like, well, why don't we just lock this up? There's an alarm on it.
Yeah.
And like there's security patrols. It's
Nope,
like, no,
stand
you
there
need,
and watch it.
need somebody here 24/7. You're just like,
Why? Don't ask why.
Yeah.
why do we shut your mouth? And you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Fucking quarter
man.
deck watch. You're like,
I think
what?
because I think like everybody talks about the quit rate at Buds, but I think if people were allowed to quit in boot camp, the attrition rate would be higher than Buds, bro. They wouldn't have anybody in the fucking
my
Navy.
God.
It's a terrible experience
Or like
because it's so lame. Like it's not even hard; it's just lame.
Yeah.
for like the pipeline, not to like get too much into it. Like when we went through the pipeline, there was still a hefty amount of conventional influence, if you will. Like you had to go to Benning for 4 weeks,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and a week of that was just processing, was just in process,
Yeah.
sitting in those barracks,
Unless
running
you get to go twice.
Dude, you had
Did you go twice?
I got kicked out the first time.
yeah. But yeah, that was processing week, ground week,
Yeah,
tower week,
and then
and
jump,
then jump
week.
week.
Yeah.
You're like,
Could have been 4 days.
dude, what the fuck?
It is now.
Is
I
it?
think.
Thank
I mean,
God.
when I was, and fuck,
Yeah.
I've been out 6 years now, but I'm pretty
now
sure
we've got
that
our
it's
own program.
got our own.
Yeah, dude.
And,
they
like-
static line. It's like, here, just don't break anything.
Yeah. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times and jump the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
dude.
true.
That's all you
Just
need to
go.
know. That's
Yeah.
it. It's not hard. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, part of me wishes that guys would still do that, just from a.
so you get an appreciation.
You get an
for what you
appreciation.
have.
Like you went through Buds, and then like I don't know what your guys' pipelines were like, but like went through Buds, went over to SQT, but then the first thing that we did after Buds was we went to Benning because you had to jump static in
Yeah.
SQT.
Yeah.
And so like
I went there before I checked into the team.
yeah, it was a healthy like, oh, yep, we made the right decision. You know.
Yeah, I bet.
100%. Yeah, but I think the regular military guys get a lot of like they deserve a lot more credit than they get.
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is a really hard job
For sure.
So my
All of
fucking
it.
nephew is a fucking fleeter. So he wanted to be a team guy and just kind of never really committed to doing the PSTs and shit. Sat on an aircraft carrier for like 5 fucking years.
God damn.
And then re-enlisted. Now he's on shore duty in San Diego. And dude, this whole time I'm trying to get him to. I'm like, dude, go to SWIC.
Yeah, SWIC's badass.
Dude, go to EOD school.
The shit.
Go
the
fucking
tech that they have over at SWIC is
Dude, it's crazy good.
Yeah.
Badass boats you get to
And
go
dude,
drive. Fuck yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, dude, just go do something that's not in the fleet, because I'm like, dude, you will be treated like a fucking human, not like a fucking retard that literally is gonna like. I mean, that's essentially how they treat a lot of fucking like E3. I mean, they're treated like Marines.
Yeah.
All these motherfuckers in the Marine Corps, not all of them,
No
but there are a lot of
authority,
fucking
no
dudes in the Marine Corps. A lot of dudes. If you're like E3 and below, and you're not in any kind of like Ranger Battalion or fucking any kind of fucking crazy shit like that, or I don't know how the MARSOC pipeline is, but dude, it's like.
I think they select after a certain
They do.
pay.
Yeah, but dude,
don't
it's just
they? Isn't
literally
it
like
SF selection. Don't you have to be
it's
like
like
I think
giving
5 or
dudes-
something?
It's literally like giving dudes like just busy work. They're like, well, we don't want you to get in trouble.
That's exactly what it is.
It's like, well, I
Trust
get
me,
you
I
don't
lived
want
it.
us to get in trouble, but you could probably just leave motherfuckers alone. Like, nope. History is proven. Like, nope, you're gonna go polish that fucking concrete floor over there.
Yeah, with a toothbrush. Yeah, it's
just stupid shit like that, and you're just like, God damn. So I feel for some of those motherfuckers, and then at the same time, obviously, all you guys have done shit, but being like a platoon chief or something, or an LPO, and you're sitting there watching fucking new guys or 1 platoon, 2 platoon guys bitch and moan about, oh, fuck, man, what do we have to be in uniform for?
I know,
Goddamn, what do we have to shave for?
Yeah, that's
What-
kind of like the premise behind, hey, maybe you should go to Benning.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly.
And now we have our own free fall school,
Yeah.
right? And so like I did my first pump, came back, fast forwarding through, buds and stuff
Thank
like
God.
that. But yeah, right. But came back and it was, hey, we've got a slot at Yuma. Who wants to go? And it was like, fuck yeah, I'll go. So another 4 weeks of Army
Yeah.
training, and
Oh, so you got free fall as a new guy?
no, after my first pump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after my first pump.
Okay.
No.
Oh, we glossed over the one question we always ask team guys though is which earmuffs.
Actually, I got to pee anyways.
Perfect timing. Is like because you're joining the military to get out and did a fresh start. Why join the SEAL teams? Was it anything specific? We talked about a little bit about the draw of it, but was there anything like that you really wanted to like prove to yourself or prove to other people, or what was the main driver
For
maybe
sure.
that got you through buds?
Oh, there's so many like most team guys, negative reinforcement speaks to me.
Yeah.
So when I was in high
You
school,
shit the hard way.
I had a teacher pull me in front of the class and was like, "You're a loser, and you're never going to make
What
anything
the
of
fuck?
yourself."
Dang, bro. 80s are rough.
Yeah. Well, I graduated in the 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, so that happened.
What a dick.
So there was that, and there was just my sister, whom I got to give credit where credit's due. She's fucking crazy smart. She literally did like 2 grades in 1 year. She's a doctor.
Dang,
She
yeah.
preceded me at my high school, and so there was this reputation
Why can't
of
you
like,
be more like your
oh,
sister?
Yeah, you fucking nailed that. It was like, oh, you're a Hakey, and I mean, it's a small town, and you're a fucking reject. So I had a chip on my shoulder from that perspective because it is Nebraska, and like there's like I was a punk rock kid, listened to like Bad Religion and rode a skateboard, and I was at Cow Pie High, and it was like, you're just pathetic. You're not going to go anywhere. And so reading like the books, there was this book, and I think it was titled Seals in Action at the local library. And I just remember reading it back when people used to go to fucking libraries and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Dewey Decimal System, bro.
Yes,
I know.
like,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in this. Where the fuck is this thing? But the teams and just reading the stories, like that really resonated with me. And I loved being in the water because Nebraska is the most landlocked state in the country.
No
and
shit.
actually, there's an award that is given out by the executive branch at Nebraska, and it's if you do something significant within the state or a state resident, it's like, hey, you're officially a member of the Nebraska Navy, because it's kind of like, hey, you're so badass, we've created a Navy for you kind of thing. And so
That's fucking funny, dude.
I'm actually a member of that now.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's. I was like, well, team guys are in the water. I love being in the water. Little did I know.
Yeah, it looks cool on the magazine cover.
Yeah, and then,
you get in the
you're
water,
like
this shit
6.5 months in, you're going, I'm going to
should've
rethink
gone
some of these
Army.
life choices. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
pretty
so
fucking funny, though.
it kind of resonated with me from that perspective. And I'm glad that I did because like I deployed with the Rangers once, some great guys. I was one of 2 team guys that were at an offsite that were there. And I got adopted by this like cool Ranger platoon.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
You walk in. I'm curious to hear the story now.
Yeah, it was at Scorpion in Afghanistan, and I can't remember who was there, but 2nd Battalion was there originally, and they ripped out after like a week, and then 1st from Savannah came in, and I can't remember which one it was, but I want to say it was like Charlie Platoon was the most relaxed of the group, and it was me and 2 team guys. It was me and another team guy, and I sent the other team guy out with basically with task force, so I was just there by myself. And it was just me by myself, for a while. And they were like, oh, you can come hang out with us. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But even then, they were still so rigid, and I don't do well with structure.
Yeah.
Like, here's an example, and not to talk shit on the Ranger brethren, but I'm going to. So like, we were doing a shooting, like it was a shooting competition between the 4 different platoons, because there's 4 platoons there.
Their range work is so different than ours.
Very different.
So different.
Great rifle work. They're not
really
so good with
yeah.
pistols.
Oh, really?
But
They're not all giving them.
They're not. Yeah, they're not all giving them. And if
shit.
they
At
are
least
giving
back
them,
in the day.
this was back in the day. So like
Yeah.
a feel for them from a logistical perspective. But they were like literally pulling them out of pouches and stuff like
Yeah.
that because they weren't given holsters.
Wow.
Anyway, so I wore a sign to the range that said designated shit talker. Because it was me, and then there was a guy from CAG from A Squadron.
Oh, cool.
And we were RSOing, and I was literally off to the side talking shit very briefly, because I think that the company, because there was company leadership in there too. And so there was like the company sergeant major. He was like an E8 or a 9. I don't think he was a 9. So like, what's their 8?
First sergeant. Or,
First sergeant?
Sergeant, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
like their
first
first sergeant. Their first sergeant. And so
Sergeant.
they were out there too competing against the platoon leadership. And maybe I got people too comfortable with my shit talking, which was pretty good.
It's an art.
I know
It's an art.
exactly
It's
where
an
this
art.
is going.
Yeah, you can see this.
I know exactly
this
where this is
fucking
going.
train intersecting with the school bus.
Oh, wait,
And,
what rank were you?
I was a chief.
Oh.
I was just a fucking.
We can't read
rogue
it anyways.
chief.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, and I was civilianed
Sterile.
out. I had long hair and a beard, like slicked back. You know, I'm just.
All the stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
He's
I was,
working on his book in the back.
yeah, I was a degenerate, and so I'm talking shit, and then the platoon that I'm friends with, that I've been adopted, they start talking shit.
Oh, shit.
And they start talking shit to the
And
company.
it fucking snowballs,
And
bro.
yes, and it went about like this far. It was, and you, bleh, and they fucking threw their weapons down. And the major and the first sergeant ran over to the side of the range and put the platoon sergeant at parade rest in the middle of the competition, and were dressing him down and yelling at him.
You're like, oops.
And I was just
Jesus.
like,
I'm going to take this shirt off now.
that's exactly what I did. Is I was like, welp, and I took that sign off and I just put it on the ground, and I was like, guess this is over with, and it was.
What year was
A
this?
culture clash.
It was 2012, 2013.
2012.
2012, 2013 in Afghanistan.
See, that's,
okay.
that's
That
the
is
difference in the
fucking
different
crazy,
cultures. Because,
though.
like, if somebody in the higher ups, if a platoon was talking shit back and forth with even the higher ups in the team, and the team came down and tried to put somebody at parade rest,
There would be a
they would be the
backlash.
laughing stock.
Yeah.
We're like,
Oh,
bro,
dude.
what are you
That
doing?
dude would
you
kill.
fucking nerd.
I mean, that'd be like the fucking OPSO or the fucking XO. like dressing somebody, or I guess even like a TU commander, like trying to dress down like a fucking platoon chief. He'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Motherfucker.
Especially like parade
What,
rest.
you've been
like,
in the military like 5 years?
It just
Fuck
doesn't
off.
work like
So
that.
in Ranger Battalion, it doesn't work that way. And in Ranger Battalion, it's like you were given every single asset of special operations, but you still have to abide by the rank structure and the military
Grooming,
discipline of like the regular army. And then if you go to the ODAs, you go to CAG or fucking wherever else you want to go, it's not like that at all, and it's very symbiotic.
I think that gives them a
to
lot
the
of their
SEAL
power,
teams.
though. It's probably why they're good at what they
Because
do.
What, the
like
Rangers?
they are
Yeah.
just so fucking good at killing, and there's no questioning, there's no internal drama.
Right.
So it's like the Marine Corps of the Army.
Don't you ever say that again.
But no, I mean,
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Not like
It's
trying to belittle them,
I'd
but
say
dude,
it's
I mean,
more
that's,
rigid than the Corps.
well-funded,
in certain
rigid
aspects.
murders of all
I haven't
time.
spent too much
Yeah.
time with them.
And
I
the
know
thing
they are
is,
fucking good at what they fucking do. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like,
well, and you don't get a say in bat until you have your tab and your scroll. And like
Shit, I
a
didn't even know they
scroll
were-
doesn't even go as far as a tab. Like if you're like a younger enlisted, like an E3, E4, and you have a tab,
Because that's their form of selection.
I didn't even
that's
think
part
they
of
were
it,
let into
yeah.
Ranger
Because there's
Battalion
RIP,
until they had all
right?
that shit.
There's RIP or RASP, but now it's RIP. It used to be RASP, which is not.
I didn't
really
know those
different.
dudes were even let into the battalion until they had all that shit.
No, so you come in, you go through RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program, and you go to Airborne, and RIP is just, it's kind of like Buds,
Yeah.
like
but
they're
without the
indot.
water.
Yeah.
It's to try to quell the herd in order to try to get you
And,
down.
and that's not Ranger School, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
No.
And then
That's
once
half.
you pass RIP and you go through there, then you go to your battalion, either first, second, or third. And then once you're at battalion, then you're in line for Ranger School. And then Ranger School is 3.
But you have to pass within
You
like
have to
one
pass.
or two,
Yeah,
right?
if you don't pass it, you're going to 82nd Airborne or 101st Airborne. And then if you don't pass, and then once you pass that, then you're good. And then by that time, honestly, a lot of guys even have their scroll, which
Is there
is
a lot
like
of dudes that fail out of Ranger School?
quite a bit. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I'd probably say a good 70% attrition rate.
Wow.
If
Jesus.
you went through RIP, I would probably say it's like a 20% attrition rate.
Oh wow, but there's still like a bunch of
But there's
dudes.
a lot of every officer has to go. Well, every infantry officer or combat arms has to go through Ranger School.
We used to send guys there as punishment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
It wasn't
definitely
a good
punishment.
deal. Like an officer would fuck up,
Yeah.
like you're going to Ranger School.
And,
Like,
and the
God
thing
damn
is
it.
everybody in the army knows it. If you're in fucking Ranger School with a team dude, you're like, what'd you do?
yeah,
Like literally everybody knows.
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how the process works, but it still is very structured and rank based. So like E5s up to probably, or E4, well, corporals, E5s up to E7s can like run their mouth and talk shit and, do whatever. But if it's like an E3 talking shit to an E5, hell no.
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah.
ain't happening.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the
Yeah,
same
it's
way it
definitely
is
a
kind of like
one-way
in
valve.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's a
it's
chest seal.
that's like the way it is in the Marine Corps. Like, dude, if you're a fucking sergeant, like you're a god.
Yeah.
Because it takes so fucking long for these, like,
Well, in the Marine Corps, it's even harder because in Marine Corps, usually you're a squad leader as an E5, and in the Army, it's an E6.
yeah. Yeah.
And the Army is pretty hard to get promoted. It all just depends on how many schools you have,
Right.
which is why you're just like, let's go.
Yeah, it's weird the culture
fucking
differences.
crazy.
But I find it interesting, too, that, I mean, there's all this rivalry.
I think it's to a detriment, too, to your point.
Well, I
I've
think
never worked with it. I never got to work with any Rangers. I
I've
worked
met a
with some
couple
SF
Rangers,
guys.
but I've never worked with them. Yeah, I worked with a couple SF guys.
Well, I take that back. I have worked with Rangers. I haven't worked.
If
I
you
haven't
want
been.
shit
I haven't
dead,
been in the presence
call 'em.
of a battalion.
Yeah, but I
Or,
think because
whatever.
there's always this rivalry, right? There's CAG, SEAL Team 6, there's Navy SEALs, there's Green Berets, there's Rangers, Army
Oh,
Entry.
the
There's all
rivalry
this
was
rivalry.
definitely strong
But
there, for
what
sure,
I mean is, like,
especially being in the Lone Ranger
I
on
bet,
camp.
I bet. But the rivalry, I mean, the fact is that each unit, for their specific role and their mission, are the best in the world. Like, a regular SEAL platoon cannot go do a mission that is on the board for, like, 82nd Airborne or Ranger Bat. Like, those are very specific missions that
Well,
we
yeah.
are not set up to do.
Yeah.
And they could
Well, the
maybe...
numbers, sheer numbers, are.
Yeah, totally. And they could maybe do some of the missions that we do, but probably maybe not as well, especially the water component. And then you've got Army infantry versus Marines, and then you've got the water component that is the delineation there. It's, dude, I think, I mean, I don't know this because I was never at Damnick, but I think maybe the only two units that have like a very like almost 1-to-1 parallel as far as mission set would be Delta and Team 6. Everything else is like totally mission dependent, you know? It's like who's better, Green Beret
without
or,
the water part.
Yeah, Green Berets or SEALs. Like it depends on the mission, man.
Yeah,
you know, it really does.
I mean, definitely if it's water. I mean, they weren't sending CAG in to rescue
Captain
Captain
Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah, water's a whole different thing.
And here's the other thing too, right? Is I would probably, and this is a wild guess, I'd probably say 55 to 65% of anybody in CAG came from Ranger Battalion. And so what I think Damnick and even the regular SEAL teams don't have is a Ranger Battalion aspect, right? You guys have SWIC, which comes in and lights shit up and then gets you out of dodge.
Yeah.
But Ranger Battalion comes in, softens the target, makes sure everybody's safe on the target, murders all the squirters, and then allows the operation to be conducted safely, and so that way, due to manpower, which is what you were talking about, and then exfil safely. And I don't think that's what Damnick has at their disposal.
I don't think they need it because they just use Rangers.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean,
They do.
There's no better force than the Rangers for that.
There was talk back in the day, back in the late 2000s, early teens, about shifting a troop from each team.
Oh, to be support.
To be
not augment,
support.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Pure DA kinetic shit.
Oh,
yeah,
for Dev Group?
for Dev to fill that
Yeah.
role.
Well,
that
they did that shit
red
for a while. Team
fills
1
for
did it.
blue. You know.
Yeah.
Team 1 did it. Like Beto's platoon, they went and did that shit. So his platoon with I won't say his name, but the platoon chief, their whole platoon went and did that shit.
Oh,
and that's
cool.
what happens during the heat of GWAT too, which
Yeah,
is
there
why
was a
like
lot
my
of-
unit was stood up so specialty because I was recon, but we had to do DEAs, but just pure to manpower and everything else. So I mean, yeah, there was all kinds of weird little science projects that DOD was conducting.
Isn't it funny? Like when you're in it, I remember being so guarded about like, no, fucking team guys are the best. Now that I have a little more experience, I'm older. I'm like, man. We all suck. We all suck at different shit. We're all decent at different stuff.
Yeah.
It just depends on like what the mission set is, and it's just weird how you're so defensive about these. Maybe it's just me. So defensive about things when I was younger, but now I'm like, dude, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
None of it matters. Like what matters is getting the mission done. What's the best tool for this job? What's the best asset we can put in play on this role? And
just have mutual respect and get the job done.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's funny how things look different as a
That
older
was
man,
that was
you know?
Danny Carroll in the Discovery Channel thing.
I love
It's
that quote, man. That's still my favorite quote.
It's not that we're so good, it's that everybody else sucks.
It's
Is that
fucking
Danny
true,
Carroll?
man.
Yeah.
I remember that.
With the old like circus mustache and everything.
No, that's
yeah.
Herschel. That's
That's
Herschel.
Herschel.
Did they both say it? Because that was definitely the guy that said it.
Danny said he was the guy they were interviewing. It was like this Discovery Channel thing.
It wasn't
and-
Discovery Channel, but I know what you're talking about because I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Because that guy that with the handlebar, he spoke at my Bud's graduation.
That was
Oh,
Herschel
shit.
Davis.
Yeah, Herschel
Yeah.
Davis.
So for
Yeah.
the guys that don't know, it's basically
He was the one handling all the fucking firearms and shit. And then there was another dude, which was the guy we talked about before. I had to get his name. He was also in that documentary. It's the same documentary they're talking about where Jason Gardner talks about killing the dude in Somalia.
Oh yeah,
it's it's all the
like
same.
I couldn't see his exact facial expression,
Yeah.
but I could tell he wasn't happy.
Well, he's like, he goes, only a handful of people in the world could have made that shot. I wasn't one of them. I shot his buddy. I hit the guy beside him. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
all right.
but for those guys that aren't familiar with that quote, there's I forget if it's Discovery Channel or something, but there's an interviewer asking this old crusty team guy who's got this handlebar mustache.
That's Herschel Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this guy just looks like you could just brush salt off your shoulder and like, salt your taco.
Dude, I think it's called The Final Option or some kind of shit like that, this documentary. I'm going to
Well,
look it up because
yeah.
I had to fucking look it up. That whatever podcast we were doing, I can't remember who was here, but we were
It's John
talking
Wayne
about
Freeman.
Yeah,
Oh, it was.
it's come up a couple times,
Yeah.
but I just remember because this chick's asking like super serious, like, what is it that makes the SEAL teams better than everybody else? He looks back, he's like, twists his mustache, he's like, it's not that we're so good. It's just that everyone else sucks. And it's so fucking true, man. Like once you get to know people, it's like, God dang, man, we all have like there's tons of team guys that are fucking you do not want around partner forces because they're fucking
option.
terrible.
It's the silent option.
And we've all met people from every group that are like, God dang, you're a X or whatever. Like fucking, it sucks, man.
Well, that was one of the things that I loved about the Army is you can kind of have your mission set that you want to do. If you want to get your shit pushed in forever but be the best murderer, you can go to Ranger Battalion. If you want all the freedom in the world and want to learn another language, you can go to the ODAs. Or if you want to go to Tip of the Spear, you can go to CAG. Or if you want to go aviation, 160th. Or you can go 82nd LURS or Recce unit, and you can do that.
Yeah.
Whereas, to your point, it's buds or it's the fleet. And now, obviously, you have SWIC and EOD, which is kind of a little bit, but the mission set's still not there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always there's always nice little trampoline you could fall in.
Yeah, I would say that the
one didn't
Army
work out.
sounds like it has a lot more options, because
the Navy's only got a couple options, maybe.
yeah, for sure. And
Hey, I found it.
Do anything cool again, but I mean, they're paying me that just in case it might happen.
Well, it wasn't.
Good
That
job,
was Danny
Kev.
Carroll.
Yeah, we ruined the podcast, Kevin.
Wait,
I'm not going to do it. Then I'm a loser.
so that's Danny Carroll.
I need to leave. I need to leave with my head down.
I remember that.
Dude, this was such a good fucking thing.
Yeah, there's some good like legacy stories from the teams
For sure.
back in the day. All right, we should get back on track. So
Is there a track?
There's
No.
not a
It's
track.
not
I think
really.
There hasn't been
we're
one
already off
yet.
the rails, dude.
Yeah.
To quote Herschel, he's like, it's just a guide, I think that's one of his quotes in there. The book is just a guide.
Call it an azimuth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that a great quote by the Russian? I think it was the Russian guys. They're like, the problem with fighting the Americans is that they feel no obligation to follow their manuals.
Yeah, it's like, they don't even know their own doctrine.
Yeah.
How can we predict their movements when they don't even know what they're doing?
Yeah. What is it
from? I forget what it was. I think
that's
they were
good.
talking about submarine warfare in particular, and they're just like, we've studied all this shit, and they just don't do their fucking. They don't do. What
They
they're
just
supposed
don't
to.
do it. They just do whatever they want.
Yeah, they just do what they're fucking cowboys do.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
I love it, man. I think when people ask like, what unit should I go into if they're outside and they want to go to some spec ops unit, I think the biggest predictor of quote unquote happiness and where you end up is just the culture, man. Like you got to figure out what you want in the culture. Like if you really want a lot of structure, probably Marine Corps or some kind of Army infantry unit, whether that's Army infantry or a Ranger. If you want a little more autonomy, recon, force recon, Green Beret. I think we probably have a lot more out of the box autonomy than most, even Green Berets, at least in my experience.
You do now.
Well, it's baked into the Navy doctrine.
Well, it takes a while too. There's
I think the Army got a lot better at it because when we were in, or anyway, when I was in, the Army guys, like we were working them in Djibouti, they were not the Army guys now, bro. They were like, because you had at the time, this is like 2002 or 3, you had to be in the Army for I think like 8 or 10 years to even apply.
You had to be an E5,
Yeah.
which usually took that long.
Yeah, and then also they had this set. I mean, this has all changed, of course, and they're much different now. But at the time, they had the attitude that a Green Beret is a Green Beret is a Green Beret. So they would just have guys go for whatever, meet up on deployment, and then deploy. Whereas we would work up for a year and a half. Like like I would know each of you guys' silhouette in the dark, walking without even seeing anything. You know how it is. Like you know the guy. The Green Berets didn't have that, and dude, they were like, and we were all in our mid-20s. I think our average age was like 24, 25 at the platoon we're at. Their average age was like mid-30s. It was like putting body armor on your dad's and having them load the helo. It was not
Well, at that
impressive.
age too, you're coming out of the 90s, and so they didn't have to.
The GWAT
fucking
was
do anything.
super new.
Yeah, 2 decades of non-conflict.
Because
essentially.
Iraq,
and a bunch of
Iraq hadn't
lazy-ass
even,
dudes.
Iraq hadn't even blown up yet. So this is it was all super new. But
And
now
you're
they
probably like
changed it.
19th or 20th group or some shit, and like one was a doctor, one was a pilot, one was a truck
Yeah,
driver.
I mean, I don't want. No, they were active. They were for sure
okay.
active. But I don't want to anyway, that was a unique experience. But now, like a buddy of mine just made it through CAG selection. Dope ass Green Beret, like a heart, like this guy's a fucking stud, bro. And he just like made it through,
The long walk.
OCS.
the long walk, all that shit. I'm like, wow. And this guy's
OCS.
like, man, I think he's got to be like 30 or something. So they have completely revamped their program. So my experience with that is like way old.
Well,
school.
they even for a while, Green Berets were doing this thing because there was a group that I would shack up with. I was the pay agent for one of my.
You were the
deployments.
food guy?
Yeah,
I was
And
a food guy.
So I'd have to go up to. I'm trying to remember the air station. It was just above Basra, the airfield up there, and I'd go up there. I'd get money, but then
I know what you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of it.
I'll think of it in a second. But then I would go crash with the. There was an SF A team there, and I don't know. Somehow we got on the topic, and there was one kid in there. He was very young, and he was like the first, whatever the program was. It's almost
It was
like
an X-ray program, I think, is what it was.
I'm not sure, but it was like they were letting dudes come in
Right
and
off the
go
street.
straight in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
they
that's
had
a
some,
you're
X-ray
right.
program.
Yeah.
yeah, they had some wickets they had to do, but then they
I
went
think that was
straight
the
into
late
like
2000s. They
Q course or
changed
some
that, right?
shit.
That was my generation.
Yeah, so that completely changed the average age of their team, which I think, I mean, after
Yeah.
dealing with those guys back then, I think was a major improvement.
It was. Yeah, the 18 X-ray program is good. I mean, because like SFAS will weed out who isn't supposed to be there, who doesn't want to be there. But 18 X-ray took the prerequisite of being an E5 and going into the ODAs out of the way. And then it would fast track you through all of like the leadership schools, because by the time you graduated and got your Green Beret, you could have gone in as an E1 or E nothing, and then
Yeah.
you would be an E5 as soon as you got your
Well,
beret.
before GWAT, it made sense because they needed older guys. Their main mission was fit, and you need guys who are a little bit older, less bravado,
and also
more
taken seriously
experienced.
too, you
Yeah,
know, in that
yeah,
kind
totally.
of Middle Eastern culture.
So it made sense. And the GWAT was like, oh shit, this ain't working anymore. Let's
Yeah.
fucking scramble it up. But yeah, it was interesting to see the change. I'm glad they made the change. It's a much better product now, I think.
Yeah.
Guys are dope. All around.
So please talk more.
we can take a quick break too.
Yeah, let's take a
Sure.
hiatus.
Yeah, perfect.
For a reason.
Dude, we were hitting so
Too
many
late
fucking
for that. Too late for that.
so many targets, and then they were like, "Oh, we want to give some of these ops to the to the ODA teams." And these dudes showed up at Camp Jenny Posey, and they had the fucking indigenous Toyota fucking pickups with like the fucking 240s mounted on the roll bars, and we're like, "Dude, you guys want to use our Humvees?" They're like, "No, we're good." And we're like, dude, all right, whatever. And dude, they got fucking lit the fuck up, and
Really?
yeah, they killed two of their guys.
I think it's harder for the Army to change doctrine, like our stuff. You just come back and you tell the other platoon, like, "Hey, man, this is how
This
we
is
got
what we're
fucked up. We're
doing."
changing." And they're like, "Okay, we'll change." Whereas the Army is like, "No, you got to change this. You got to go way
Yeah.
up and come back. Wait till it comes back down.
I can see that.
before it changes."
Chris, were you a battalion? Like, were you at Ranger Bat or were?
Nick.
Sorry, Nick.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No,
I'm like, who's he talking to?
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
No, I completely get it. It's
okay, George.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Thank
bad
you.
boy friends.
Thank you.
But I went in 05, and then when I was in Ramadi, I was directly like augment for 3 and 5 when they were there. But 15-month deployment during that whole thing. So that was
Those are rough.
Dude, that was really rough.
yeah.
My
that was
Afghanistan
a-
deployment was 10.5 months.
It's crazy. You might as well issue divorce papers in those fucking
Yeah,
orders.
my
was
hats off to the
brutal.
Army during that shit, man, because we were in Basra. We had they had taken a.
Way to take over my story, Kevin.
Oh, sorry. Were you?
See, this is what happens.
Were you still in the
This
middle
is
of
what
it?
happens.
No, well, I was about to explain myself.
Everybody was like, "Oh,
Just put them on mute. You know,
But then
bad idea
after-
having him put the headset on.
After I saw what sexy was, then I went to recon selection, which is what you were asking about earlier. It's like that's
Yeah.
when like selections started happening, and then went to a bunch of cool guy schools, and then stood up kind of like the specialty unit where we were recon snipers, but then like a little bit of DA, and then did a couple more pumps after that.
Isn't that like a Mohawk, or is that or is that the ASOT shit for the Rangers, the Mohawk units? I can't remember.
That's for the Rangers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Ours
so many
was-
special names, like
SOT
everybody's
A.
on there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, ours, and luckily our battalion commander came from Ranger Reconnaissance Company. It was RD back in the day, Ranger Reconnaissance Detachment, which as many Rangers as I know, no one still to this day knows anything about RRC or RRD and what the fuck they do. I know they work very much in the gray and black side.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, that's it.
There's a lot of interesting pockets in the military, man.
There is, and you think you know one, and you don't.
I think the Army probably has more secret or unknown pockets. The Navy's pretty much
Air
like
Force all day. I think as far as
Air
combat,
Force and Army,
combat, the Army and everything else, like fucking aliens and shit.
Dude,
that's Air Force.
who's the guys
Space
guarding
Force.
the underground bases at Area 51? Like those, that'd be interesting to see. Like, what's that MOS? You know, where do they get those guys from?
They're aliens.
Actually, Air Force are contractors. Normally they're coming out of Northrop Grumman, so they'll be poached from GRS,
No shit.
and then they'll go over there as long as they're TSSCI or whatever class meets.
Whacking. What's the
long as you
Whacking
don't have a
Hut?
podcast.
Whack and Hut. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Dude, we went and did some CQC up in what's Mercury, Nevada, and it's right on the Mercury test site. And we're shooting out there and stuff, and we have these Whacking Hut fucking security guys roll up, and we're talking to them.
Is that a company?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
almost
like
had to go
some
through
kind
a
of-
sniper school there, and if
I've
I
never
didn't
heard of that.
have to go through the Blackwater program. So they like augment like Blackwater, triple canopy.
Dude, they're like all these. There was like all these security dudes that were. I think a lot of them were security for like DOE. Yeah, and
They're all
and-
DOE guys.
Yeah, and they took us to this building where we were going to do. It was us and our sister platoon, and we were going to do like some hits on this building. And we're following them. We're all in like rental cars and shit. We drive over there, and we get to this building. It's like nothing special. We're like, this building's like, dude, we're gonna have this thing cleared in like, 10 minutes. Like it's like nothing special. It looks like a 1,000 square foot building or some shit, maybe 2,000 square foot building. And we get in there and we get in this fucking elevator and we go down. I don't know how many floors we went because nothing was like marked. We stop, doors open, we all go in, and dude,
the
it was
space guns,
cold
bro.
as fuck. Yeah, I'm like, God damn, it's fucking freezing down here. And I was like, dude, this is fucking weird. And it was like a fucking cafeteria. And it was like the size of a fucking gymnasium.
No
They're like,
shit.
yep, you guys use anything down here you want.
They've
We're
got
like,
shit like that all over the test site. Because
Yeah.
my
was
second
fucking
pump
crazy.
to Iraq, right before we went, we did this huge like squadron exercise, right? And like the whole team was out in Nevada, and we were at Area 13, and I know it was Area 13 because there was a sign there. It says Area 13. It's just this random set of buildings that you drive out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like radiation signs all over the place, and you're just like, what the
a good sign.
fuck are these buildings doing out here?
Yeah.
And that's where we set up our talk and all of that shit, and then we did.
A little Geiger counter.
Yeah, it's
gonna
like,
say that.
well, you had to wear these like those
TLD.
ones around your
TLD.
Yeah, you had to wear them around
No
your
way.
neck. But,
Yeah.
I
Is
mean,
that a Geiger counter? What was it? Counting?
No, it's a TLD, the same ones you wear when you get on a submarine.
yeah.
What is it? What's a TLD?
It measures.
It just
fucking,
measures how much you're exposed
radiation.
to. But I mean, allegedly
Dang.
we were fine, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we turned it
Got a
in at the
fucking
at the
arm
end of
growing out of your
the
ass.
like 2-week
They're
exercise,
like,
and
oh shit.
they didn't say. Yeah, there's. Just throw it into a bucket. You're like, where's that going? What are you doing with that
Yeah,
data?
Did they plug it
processing,
in
yeah.
and then like read it really quick and then unplug it and toss it?
No, you just
Oh,
turned
it's
them in
a-
and they like checked it in, like your number, and you never heard back.
Thermo
Presumably, I've got like testicular cancer or something. like that.
thermoluminescent dosimeter,
What the
TLD,
fuck?
radiation detection.
I did have a brain tumor after that platoon, though, so
Damn.
there is that.
You and Rob
Dang,
Smith.
dude.
You're like that dude,
Yeah.
fucking Reese. James Reese had one too.
Oh, I mean, it was all back. Like this is all metal, and so my like.
You know who James Reese is, do you?
I don't. No, I don't know who
He's got
James
the-
Reese is.
the
Good for you.
car-
That was the Jack Carr.
Jack
book.
Carr movies.
Oh, I haven't seen any of
The
those.
Terminal List.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kid
I-
can't even read.
yeah.
You're my
no,
favorite.
no.
You're my favorite SEAL now.
They're hella-
Dude, so what? You had your fucking nugget fucking cut on and they put a fucking metal plate in it?
Yeah, this is all metal, and like I was a JTAC for 3 deployments, and my antenna for the PSC-5 was back here.
Oh, no shit.
And so, like, they
Wow.
can't prove that was what was going on, but I'd say that's a strong correlation.
Yep.
But yeah, like I was.
Pays to be a 60 gunner.
Yeah, right. It's so fucking true.
All we got is lead poisoning.
Don't shoot, going good. Fucking gray babe over here. Fucking.
That would actually be a great meme and/or shirt. Pays me a 60 gunner, no cancer.
Yeah.
Only lead poisoning.
Just lead poison. Dude, so they fucking cut out a tumor and put a metal fucking plate in your head, huh?
Yeah, that was when Gigi and I worked together, and so I was in ASOT, just going through that rigmarole back when it was a pain in the ass, and it was new.
The level 2 shit?
Yeah, the level 2 shit, and so we were getting ready to go out into the field, and everybody was getting sick, and I just thought that I had the flu, and I called her to come pick me up, because I'm like, I just need a night's rest. And she came in and was just like, oh. And she was a nurse at the time. She goes, I'm taking you to the fucking hospital. Took me to the hospital. They were like, we can't find anything wrong with you. Went back home. And then she called my dad, who's a retired physician, and was like, this is what's going on. And he was like, take him back to the fucking hospital. Took me back to the hospital. They did a CAT scan. And then they started admitting me. And they were like,
Whoops.
Are you admitting him? G was like, are you admitting him? And they were like, yeah, we're admitting him. And she said, well, why? And I'm like, well, you haven't been told, huh?
Sorry,
and
your oncologist is going to have to tell you that.
Yeah, you've got a tumor. And so I had a tumor like the size of my fist.
Dang.
That had compressed my left hemisphere. And it was like starting to bleed and leak. And they're like, you're going to die if we don't get this out of you. And so what does Balboa do? Because I was admitted to a private hospital. So Balboa finds out about it. God knows, I don't know how. They sent people to remove me from the hospital so they could operate on me at Balboa. But when...
And kill you.
Yeah, they would have fucking killed me. Because like... the surgical team,
and
this was at
hospital.
Sharp. Yeah, it's like, we're a teaching hospital. We need to do this. But the surgical team at Sharp was like, hey, we're going to get this out of you. It's like, when? Tomorrow. And like, I just had MRI after MRI after MRI. And my parents flew into town because they're like, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, I'm on my way out. I'm like, I thought I was going to die in combat. This blows. I'm like, I'm in a hospital bed. And the CO of 7 came in. And some at a different time. Well, he came to visit me, and then like some medical representatives, some captain. I have no idea who he was because I was high as fuck on Dilaudid because I was in so much pain. That stuff is amazing. And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna pull you out and take you to the hospital." And my nurse was in there at the time, and my dad was like, well, what's your plan for him? When are you going to be able to get him on the table? And they're like, well, we'll do our own assessment, and we'll figure we'll be able to get him in the operating table in like at the earliest 7 to 10 days. And he's like, no, these guys are going to operate him on tomorrow. They said that if we don't do it, he runs the risk of dying. And they're like, well, that's their opinion. And my charge nurse didn't even say anything.
Fucking Navy,
she
dude.
walked right out, went right to security, and was like, get security up here. Kicked those fuckers out.
Shit.
And they had armed security
Beat it,
on my
nerds.
floor just for me because they were afraid that they'd come back and take me out because they said that they were going to come back and remove me. And that's how fucked up it was. And then after it was all said and done and it was all removed,
military, dude?
I went back. I had heard through the grapevine that Balboa was trying to like the regular dicks at Balboa were like, fuck this guy. We're going to get him kicked out of the Navy now that he didn't come with us. So after I was, I had surgery. It took him 14 and a half hours to remove the goddamn thing.
Oh my God.
My head was in a vice. I was in it so long that, because I was on this side, that all of the fluids in my body had shifted from equal distribution, like Kevin, to more unequal distribution. So I was like absolutely shredded on this side, and this side was just like full of fluid and bloated, and I had these holes in my head.
Dang.
So I was in ICU.
Like, did they have you a fucking halo on your...
They didn't have me in a halo, but when they operated on me, I was in a vice. And you could see the screw marks and shit because they clamp you down. Anyway, get out of that. I'm in ICU, and then like the boys come and visit me, and they're like, hey man, hope you heal up. And then before I was discharged, one of my good friends was in my platoon. He came up to me and was like, hey, like, regular Navy's trying to fucking kick you out. You might want to go to the team and show face. So, like, less than 72 hours after I have my fucking skull cracked, I can barely walk, I go to the team with Gigi, my second ex-wife. I go to the team with Gigi because she's like, I'm going to take you home. I was like, you can't take me home. We need to go to the team because I'm not going to let them fucking kick me out.
Right.
And I walked, well, kind of, like we took the elevator that time. You know, the one at the new Team 5.
That's
now it's not new anymore, but at the time was new.
Yeah.
But that elevator's
elevator's
like,
always fucked. Yeah.
and you're like, Jesus, I should have just walked at this stage. But we took that up, and then I just walked right in and walked into the headquarters.
Yeah,
and I was
third
like,
floor.
I was like, hey, I'm gonna fucking deploy, and they were like, all right, yeah, sure, we're gonna make this happen.
Little guy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy that the Navy was trying to fuck you on.
Oh, they were hardcore on it for a while.
And
Like
what other wish do you want for the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that sounds like a cover-up, not like even trying to fuck you. Like they're trying to look out for like malpractice and like anything else that would come down on you because like that's so
a lot of
bad.
these guys are just like ego plays. Like we told him to do this, he didn't do it.
Yeah,
so
but you're talking about like a fucking life of a guy that's like
but
They don't care.
You know how some of these guys are, man.
I mean, you don't have to riddle me that bad.
Respect
man,
my
I get it.
authority.
Yeah.
It's just it's so unfortunate.
Commander Cartman up there making decisions.
But Grady Mack was my OIC, if you know,
yeah,
and he
he's
was
super cool.
huge into CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he took my fat ass after I had my 6 weeks of leave, and I had like
Another cheeseburger, lady.
I was not fitting into my dress blues, and we had a blues inspection the first day back. And Joe Molina was standing behind me, and I had to like loosen my fucking my waist. You know, back when the Cracker Jacks had that
corset.
fucking
That's right,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
little tie thing, and he was like flicking my ass, and he was like, "Dude, looking a little tight back here." And I'm like, "Shut up, Joe."
Yeah, brain surgery, motherfucker.
But yeah,
No
Grady
shit.
Mack like took me to his house and was like, "We need to get your ass back in shape." And so
God
You're
dang,
like, what?
man, that's
Pear is
wild.
a shape.
I was like, "Yeah, dude, like round is a shape, clearly."
I mean, I guess one of the small blessings from that is that you didn't have to have it hanging over you for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, like you got it, you knew about it, you got taken care of immediately.
Yeah.
And you had to deal with the aftermath, but at least you weren't having this like.
Did they let you graduate ASOT?
They didn't. They didn't actually. And I like had done everything but the field, but the FTX portion. So I'd done everything.
Oh, God.
And they never gave me a cert. And I was just like, what the fuck?
That's
and
some
at the
bullshit.
time, it was run by a bunch of ex-Greeny Beanie contractors. And so I was just kind of like, well, that
because you went
blows.
through all the shitty
I did the
part
whole
of it.
thing, like the whole,
Well, the
you had to write
handwriting
by
and everything.
hand. My, what is it, the term, the huge like route that you got to do for it. I can't even remember what it is, but it was 55 and a half pages of handwritten instructions in pencil. And I'm like,
would've
this
quit, bro.
fucking blows.
I'm fucking quitting. Where's a bell?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Well, my troop SEA was Chris Goot, so I wasn't about to quit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That big Viking motherfucker would be like, you mean to tell me that you fucking quit to a school that we need you to graduate from? I'd been like,
Yes.
My hand was tired.
And then he punches you in your soft spot in the brain.
My
Yeah.
fingers hurt.
it caved my fucking face in.
So did you have any kind of residual fallout from that? Did they let you keep the tumor?
I asked that at the time, and they were like, yeah, we're going to keep it for testing. And then they like froze it, and I lost track of it. It's probably someone in some box somewhere, who knows? But I never got it personally. But
They probably made it into like a powder or something and like put it in butt plugs. Sold them.
interesting. That's where you always go.
That's a logical assumption. Yeah,
May the
that's
force
definitely could
be
that.
in you.
Brain work.
Yeah.
You know, this has come up in multiple conversations of like people a fan of the podcast.
What can I put in my
And they'll
butt?
always ask me like, "What's up with Kevin and his fucking gay shit?"
That's just every team guy.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
that's really
I
just
think that's
because my
every military
girlfriend
guy.
said the same thing. She's just like, what the whenever
It's
you
just
get with your
skin.
friends, like with your team guy friends, like, what is wrong with you guys? And it's just,
I don't know, but it's funny.
Just the teams. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's like, oh, you need help with that? And it's like, no, I don't, motherfucker.
What were you? Yeah. We were gonna get into something that we talked about on break that we wanted to harp on.
I forget.
Me too.
So we've got a few things. Maybe it's time to get into the story behind.
This
surprise.
Oh, yeah. Well, so at the end of my combat deployments, I started getting like very early on, like even after my first. No, it was after my second Iraq deployment, I would get the "Hey, you made it home alive" gifts for myself, and I would start like start like buying myself. It's like, oh,
nice little Rolex.
Wasn't expecting that to happen. This is great,
Thank
you know, great to be here. And like, I'm gonna buy myself. At the time, I remember coming back from Iraq in 2005, and I bought myself this huge plasma television, you know, which was just promptly got stolen because my parents came and visited and left the doors unlocked in the condo that I was in. Yeah, it's fucking
like $7,000 at the time. Now they're like $300.
Yeah, it was $7,000. Yeah, the plasma is like, why do you want to downgrade now? You know,
weighs like 500
oh,
fucking
it's
pounds.
huge, and it was thick
I had
as
one
shit.
too.
Yeah, it had a base station to it, you know. But
the porn looks great on it.
oh yeah,
15 months in Ramadi will buy you a plasma.
Yeah.
And then you're back to eating at the DFAC.
But after my Afghan deployment, which was actually probably my roughest deployment from all things considered, from like physically, mentally, emotionally, it was 10.5 months.
Was this after the brain surgery? Or before?
This was after.
Shit.
So this is after.
Wow.
So
Damn, dude.
this was actually my first deployment back after I was an instructor with you at SQT.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
So I deployed, and 2/3 of the team were people that you and I had put through selection.
It's crazy.
All the way up to like OICs. The only people that hadn't were some of the LPOs, the chiefs, and above, and then some of the Mustangs. But
Damn,
everybody
dude.
else, and like some of the older guys. But
What's a
generally
Mustang
speaking,
again?
it's someone that was an enlisted and then went officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we talk about the instructor stuff after this.
Oh
story.
yeah,
Just-
for sure. But
That's a whole different trajectory. It's so fun.
that was with Team 4. I went over to the East Coast from Team Set after the instructor tour because, like, at the time, the East Coast was the only people going to Afghanistan. I wanted to go to Afghanistan. I'd done a couple Iraq. I'd done a couple PACOM. I'm like, let's fucking change it up. Let's see something different, what have you. And then, like, buckled up for a 10.5 month deployment. Like, literally went through 3 pairs of shoes patrolling because it's just, that's man country. At least
Fuck
that was
that
my
shit,
experience.
dude.
Like, there was Iraq, which is like really Hollywood, and then there's, hey, we're going to insert you here, and it's a 6 to 8 click offset, and it's like Nyland where it's against the grain uphill, but there's also altitude.
Yeah.
So like your base altitude in some of these valleys is like 8K, and you're like, holy shit.
So you're up northeast.
I was in Aruzgan, and then Zabul, and gosh, where's the other place? I'm trying to remember where it was. But yeah, Aruzgan and Zabul.
Yeah, just on that like northeastern kind of province.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
where it meets like the Pakistan kind of border.
yeah, it was the SOTF was out of Tarankout, and so like you're in this valley with and so it was us, some Army guys, and then the Australians, and like the planes like literally fly into this valley and land, and you're just surrounded by these big, beautiful mountains, in which anywhere else in the world, like Afghanistan, would be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Great snowboarding.
Like fucking Switzerland. You know,
it's
big fucking tourist attraction.
Like Kabul, you know, it's in that bowl. It's Aspen.
Yeah.
With a very different feel.
It wasn't filled with retards. Yeah.
Yeah, with a very different feel. But
yeah, it's
like
fucking crazy.
2.5 months into the deployment, we'd lost 5 people already, like KIA.
Fuck, dude.
And like that's the first time I'd been in the teams like 12 years at that point. I'd never been on an operation where anyone was even wounded.
Yeah.
These
Much less
team guys that got killed. That's a lot. of team
we
guys.
lost 2 team guys, 2 Green Beret like enablers, and then one cryptologist. So like he was with Team 5 actually, because
that
Team
was,
5's with us.
Shit, man.
Starts
Yeah.
with a C. What's his?
I can't remember his name. I feel like a shitbag, but 4 of the 5 fatalities were head trauma, and then Matt Cantor, he got shot through and through. I think both lungs. I don't exactly recall.
Shit.
But yeah, so it's like that happened on deployment, and I was just like, fuck's sake. I was like, I have not been deploying. Like, I've just been playing a game where there wasn't any consequences.
Yeah.
And then you're on an op where people get killed and wounded, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is real shit.
How are we going to get this fucker out of here?
Yeah, for sure. You're just like, God damn, like, this is rough.
Do you feel like that changed you as an operator from having so much success in your career and then finally kind of learning what it's like to take an L?
I'd always known, like, just because it was reinforced generationally speaking that, hey, there's a consequence here, so you got to keep your shit wired tight. But the game it was kind of a game, but it's not, it's serious circumstances, but we always came up with a win. And then my second deployment to Iraq, Team 7 Alpha got hit by an IED, like Scott Stearns nearly died. Oklahoma motherfucker. He was at 5 originally with Brad Nagel and
Oklahoma.
why can't I think of his name? I can fucking see his face. He was an SQT with us for a while. But he got all fucked up. Parrot got friggin' thrown out of the turret because like the fireball threw him out. Burned his eyes and he couldn't see. Like that happened the second deployment.
Monty Davis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Monty Davis. Like he got all fucked up because
he almost bled out.
Yeah, almost lost his leg, almost bled out. And so like that was a solid reality check because when I first went to Iraq, there was no IEDs. We drove in thin-skinned vehicles and we were just this porcupine with guns sticking out, and it was like
Christian Pike.
Fucking invincible.
Christian Pike? That wasn't him?
No.
The team guy, the crypto guy that died?
Oh, yes. That was him. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like looking up shit.
I'm like, what?
Like,
yeah.
What? No?
But yeah, that was the first reality check because I was like, fuck, IEDs. I was like, how the fuck are we going to deal with this shit?
Yeah.
And I always knew it was dangerous, and you hear about people dying, and of course, there's Red Wings happen when I was in Iraq the second time, and I had a lot of friends on that. Mike Murphy and I went to Buds together. My son's named after him. And, there's that reality, but it was still far, that was a world away.
Yeah.
And then when you see it and you hear people dying on the radio, and you're like, ooh, fuck. And then like later on, then I became a platoon chief, and people are like, let's go get some. And it's like, okay.
Careful what you ask
careful
for.
what you fucking wish for here, people.
Yeah.
And like, before I retired, there was that ODA that was in Africa that went out to get some. And
is that the dudes in Mali?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took a bunch of support guys with them.
Yeah. And like 6 of them, I think, wasn't it 6 of them died? Something like that.
And they all had GoPros on.
Yeah. And
being canoed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I watched that video with
too.
the guys in my training cell because I was running, as I was getting ready to retire, I was running maritime assaults out of the West Coast. And the guys had it on, and they were watching. They were like, look at this, look at that. And I was like, hey, put it up on the screen. I was like, let's do a fucking debrief. I'm like, look at this, look at that. What did they do wrong? What did they do wrong here? What did they do right? And I'm like, that's the risk, man. And like, I totally get it when people want to go out and get some, because there's still a part of me that's like,
that's the job. You want to do the job.
Of course you want to do the job. And also, like, I've seen it go bad, like really bad. Like, I was on the op when Kevin Ebert got killed. He was the team leader for his element. He was the medic for his element, and he was killed in initial contact. And that was at 6 a.m., like right when we infilled. And like, there was a lot of things about that op that happy to talk about, if you will. What's that?
Gunfire?
Yeah, he was shot in the head.
Wow.
Yeah, while he was on comms, calling out positions. So like, you heard him go, and then, it's just like, holy shit, you're like, this is real. And then a bunch of other people got wounded, and we killed a fuck ton of people that day. But then it's kind of like, one of the new guys that got his first kill came back, and I'd actually put him through selection. And I forget his name, but he was just like, man, I didn't feel like I thought it would. And it's like, Yeah, because he's not thinking about like, fuck yeah, I ripped that guy up with his fucking 46, which he did. But like, some people didn't come home today.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the cost?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like to add insult to injury, 2 months fucking later after we took that valley, we pulled out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we
that's the
gave the
shit too,
whole
man.
goddamn thing back to
Motherfucker,
him.
for
The
nothing.
ODA that we came and supported that day to help out and clear out all those fucking pieces of shit, they blew up their VSP, like literally destroyed, like scorched earth, like
What's a
destroyed.
VSP?
It's a village stability platform. So an ODA was dropped in the middle of this fucking valley with a partner force
Oh,
to
yeah.
secure this place, and it's just a fucking hornet's nest. Because like after Kevin got killed, it was just a swarm of air that got pushed to us because they're like they're in the shit, and it was just Apache, you know, like A-10s, F-15s, like all kinds of just dropping
And
just
they're all going back Winchester.
yeah, and they're just all going back, just like just destroying everything. And I was there with a bunch of dudes that we fucking put through
damn.
selection, and it's like I remember at one point it's like, fuck, we need to get over there. And I'm like, I don't know if there's mines here. And I'm looking at this fucking 22-year-old kid that I just put through selection. I'm like, I'll step in front of you. Like, let me lead the way here. Like, God forbid something else happen. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is a mess.
So,
you know, and it
damn,
was.
man.
And then it just, like I said, to add insult to injury, we did all that fighting and did all that killing that day, and then we left.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I almost
what?
wore a
Right.
shirt today that was from Nine Line when we pulled out of Afghanistan. Nine Line Apparel made this shirt that had the silhouette of Afghanistan. It says all for what on it. And it's like, yeah, what was that for?
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Well, that was the shitty thing too with Iraq. Like, I mean, in whatever fucking year it was when.
09, 11.
Yeah,
It was like 09 is when
ISIS
we really
basically-
started to.
09 was done.
ISIS,
Yeah,
like,
09 it was done.
well,
We were
no,
still there in 11.
No, I'm saying after we had called it quits, and ISIS basically retook Ramadi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was there when that happened.
We're like, oh, that's great.
So that's another. I don't even know if we can talk about this. It might be classified.
But it's like one of those things.
But
You're like,
like-
dude, what the
Well,
fuck, man?
I don't know. We handed over the war. At this point, I'm willing to give you free reign. But
Yeah,
it is
right.
Your life,
So, like,
your ass.
my Team 7 was in Iraq when that was fucking happening. We turned over with 5.
Yeah.
And Ramadi's getting taken over, and they round up all these fucking civilians in the soccer stadium. And we're on ISR, and ISIS starts gunning them down. And one of the fucking sergeants, an army, I can't remember his name, he was like, drop on that. And he was like, and some officer's like, how can you say that? He was like, they're dead already.
They're already killing them.
He was like, it's better if we do it. And he caught some, I can't remember his name, but he caught some flack for that. And I was like, yeah, we should just fucking drop on it. Because, like, what? They're just sitting there waiting to get a muzzle in the back. And you could just see them going down the line, just like,
White hot.
God, yeah, white hot, boom.
Yep.
And you're just like, God, it left nothing to the imagination of what was happening. And I mean, like, it was just crazy. It was like, what the fucking point was that?
And
And then,
like 2012, 2013.
it was 2015.
Yeah.
That was my last combat deployment.
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
So
Crazy. Not
what
to put just a real downer on things, but it was just like,
No,
God
but
damn.
that's real life, man. That
Yeah.
shit that
Yeah,
happens,
I mean, dude, fucking being in Iraq from, years and years and years and years and years, and then you see like just basically hand it to him on a silver. Like, here, come
for
on
sure.
back in.
Like,
You're
do you
like,
remember
what the
Taji?
fuck?
Do you remember Taji
Yeah.
north of
Camp
Baghdad?
Taji.
Yeah.
So we opened that back up again with the Anzacs. So it was deployed with the Australian New Zealand Task Force. They're fucking great. And we were co-located with the 82nd. So like, 82nd. They're awesome dudes. They treated us like kings. So great. Had some... Anyway, fly into Taji, which used to be like... did you ever go to Taji, Ryan? Or like,
Man, I never went anywhere.
oh, well,
Sucked.
there was like McDonald's, and there was like
There was
wow.
a Burger King,
Burger King, and there was like KFC,
Yeah.
and there was
the green beans.
I think the
all of
Burger
that
King
shit was gone.
Yeah.
So like the whole base was leveled,
Because when
and it wasn't from ISIS, it was from the Iraqis, when we turned it over to them, they destroyed the goddamn place, just tearing it apart.
They just took everything
They just took everything that they
They're
could.
a bunch of pieces of shit.
And I was
dude.
just like
Yeah.
I
This is-
remember. I've got pictures of it from when I was doing like daytime ops with not me, of course, just singularly. You know, oh yeah, I'm going out and doing my own thing. But
Okay, Craighead.
yeah, it's like okay, pump the brakes, Greg. But like we did this joint op with it was Team 7, Team 5, Team 4, and Team 10 because there was all 4 teams were in country at the time during the surge. And we did this daytime op that was just, it's pretty fucking sick, but we launched at a Taji and like we took a huge like strike force picture, if you will. And it like went back to that same place in 2015, 10 years later. And it was just like stepping into a Mad Max film.
Dude, that's the thing, man. Like, I think people don't understand. Like, people who haven't experienced like these other cultures, because it's not really other. It's not other people. It's the difference is culture. It's not a skin color difference. It's not a belief difference. It's a culture difference.
So true.
And a lot of these people, like, they're just incompatible with
Western
modern
values.
society.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Western society. It's modern, like where the world wants to go, right? Like we all want autonomy over our lives and our day. We all want security and safety. We all want the opportunity to pursue success in whatever endeavor that is, right? And those people want that too. But the problem is, like, that looks very different to them than it does to us, and their culture is just completely incompatible with the modern world. And we keep trying to like build these people up and lift them up, and it just doesn't.
Inshallah.
It just doesn't fucking work.
Well,
man.
there's such a disparity, Ryan. Like, I'll never forget the first compound because we did this turnover op with Team 2 when I was at Team 4, and it was fucking epic. Like, just the dream, like, of turnover ops. Like, I think we must have waxed like 13 people or something like that. It was just like AC 130 calling in, you know, shit. You're just like, this is fucking badass.
just making the world better.
Yeah, just making the world a better place. But I'll never forget the first compound that, yeah. But I'll never forget the first compound that I cleared in Afghanistan. I was like, holy shit, this is tight, you know, and went in and it was August. So it was still warm, but at night, man, that temperature drops because you're like, I think our base altitude is like 8.6 or something. And so it's really high. And I was clearing with some of the other guys and there was like, I came across a manger and there was a baby in it. And it was not Jesus, you know. I'm just like, and there's right next to a donkey, and these people were sleeping outside, and there's one person just sleeping randomly on the ground, and like, it was in a mud hut, and you'd seen pictures of shit like that.
Send the dog in?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. That's fucked up. No, we had a dingo though, and it ate the baby. No.
Dingo, you're up.
Yeah. But no,
oh shit!
it's just
Sorry.
like, it was so crazy because I'm just like, holy shit! Like, this is how these people live, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which is not a bad way. I mean, no, I'm not casting shade on that. Like, if that's the life you choose, totally fine.
Well, I mean, they
You know
didn't
what
even have a choice, you know? I mean, that's just
Right.
what they're born into.
Right.
But I'm saying that look at where we're at right now. You know, we have enough computing power in this phone to go to the fucking moon.
Yeah. Well,
and
what
they're
I'm-
pumping their water by hand
Right.
in trenches that were made during Alexander the Great's time,
What-
presumably.
What I'm saying is that
Thousands
if
of
you have
fucking
the
years
difference.
ago.
Huge
what I'm
difference.
saying is that if you have the option to progress and you're given the opportunity and the gift of like this massive, you know, upgrade, and your first thing is to rip the fucking wiring out to like wire your home or whatever the fuck
why
you're
would you
doing
not
with
live
it.
in a chew hut?
Dude, right.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
they're all gutted.
yeah, they
Yeah,
just
why would the
or-
military not
yeah.
take over a military base that was developed by this fucking first world country and now make this your new city that
Exactly.
has plumbing and all the
Like-
same water tanks that you're using,
take the
and then
W.
electricity, which is generators, which only takes gasoline, which you also have
You have.
access to.
Yeah.
You now have $1 billion fucking
Yeah.
city in adjacent
Keys
to yours.
to the castle, guys.
Yes,
Here
yeah,
you
head
go.
start.
There you go.
Yeah.
And they're like,
There's
"Thanks."
probably a helicopter
Right
and a
up
couple
their
guns
ass.
there too.
Yeah, it's shit like that. They're like, because there's two schools of thought on it, right? One is like, oh, that's such a peaceful existence, cool, like whatever, and that's fine if you choose
Yeah.
to do that out of choice, right? But excuse me, the other piece of that is if you want something more, or you say you want something more, and and then you cause all this fucking bullshit in your fucking country to get more, and then when it's handed to you, you fucking shit on it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with your culture?
I got mine.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that that just makes me think, like, dude, I mean, because I know some great Iraqis, some great Afghanis, like some great people for sure, but the vast majority of like the average people over there, I mean, I'm sorry, but they're just complete pieces of shit. That whole country, complete pieces of shit.
Here's one of the questions I wanted to ask you that I get asked a lot, right? So after Ramadi and after 15 months, I had quite a few friends that ended up ETSing and getting out. And then I stayed in a lot longer, and then I ended up going to Kunar and going to Afghanistan. And whenever, you know, my boys and I are having fireside chats or at our elk hunt this winter, they always ask me, like, what's the biggest difference between Afghanistan and Ramadi, right? Because, I mean, that's like asking the difference between LA and fucking Nebraska. Or
huge difference.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, and not necessarily, like, picking the city. I mean, Baghdad was exponentially larger, but what do you tell people of the biggest difference from Iraq from Afghanistan? Because we were in two very similar cities in both countries. And I think even the listeners really like to know, like, what is that difference? What's the dichotomy there?
Oh, man, like...
Where do you start?
Afghanistan is like, as someone said, this is man country. Like, it's so unforgiving. And the Afghans have been fighting forever.
Yeah.
So when you're contacted with them...
Stone Age.
Yeah, like, it's the Stone Age, but you can see, like, here's us, here's them, we're fighting them, and you're like, they're trying to fucking flank us right now. You're like, holy shit. Okay, let's get going. And I mean, like, I don't know what that's like in Iraq. I never saw that in Iraq, but I saw that shit in Afghanistan, and just how hard people are there. Like, just like barefoot, walking on stones, no complaint, wearing linen clothing in November.
Yeah,
there's snow
at 8,000
outside.
feet.
Yeah, at 8,000 feet snow outside. Like, Afghanistan's just like put on a coat of hard it's just such a different operating environment. You know,
it's definitely a hard.
I think the
culture,
fact they've been fighting in that fucking country since fucking forever.
Yeah, since Alexander the Great and before.
Our response always was,
it's just
at least
such
this
a different
is my
AO.
personal response, is they play for keeps. Afghanistan does. Iraqis, you could return fire even indiscriminately at like a corner if you got shot from there, and they're going to beat feet somewhere else, but it's never closer.
Yeah.
Right. And like that was kind of Ramadi with like the CQC, CQB kind of like style. And then Afghanistan, especially up in the mountains, first of all,
it's
our
so
weapon
far
systems
away,
were
too.
a lot more innate, or like disabled, right? So I had to upgrade from a 308 M24 sniper rifle system to either the 50 cal, 338, or 300 Win Mag, because like 5.56 is irrelevant in Afghanistan in the mountains.
Yeah,
absolutely, completely irrelevant. That's when the Gustavs come in. That's when like
fucking javelins.
Yeah, the javelins.
The ALGL. Like we were
huge.
shooting. We had guys taking shots on that with the ALGL, which is like the what's the grenade launcher? Is the Mark 19? It's the Mark 19, right? So it's like a souped up. It's the badass
It's
Mark
H&K.
19
with the crow.
with the crow system. So we had guys trying to make shots out at like 3 clicks. You know, just like
holy shit.
They're like, I think I can make it.
Oh, Kentucky windage.
And you're like,
Yeah, literally.
you're like, oh shit.
Kind
Like,
of close.
yeah, let's adjust this. Let's see how it goes. Because like if you, I carried a SCAR for a while until it fucking
Scar heavy.
Yeah,
Scar heavies were big in Afghanistan.
yeah, the SCAR heavy. Yeah, like I carried
In 12.
the SCAR heavy, but the short barrel one, because the long barrel one's like carrying a fucking musket.
Yeah.
You know, mine didn't have problems, but you had to be really meticulous with cleaning, and you had to be careful on how rapidly you fired it, because if you tried to do rapid fire, not that you really found, I never really found myself in a position where I was like jerking on the trigger or anything like that, but they tended to jam it up.
Because it's a piston-driven system, right?
Yeah, it's piston-driven, and the piston's exposed too. Like the original designs that we had.
Yeah, it's up
so
top.
like you had
That
this
reciprocating
this
fucking
reciprocating,
arm.
you know, charging handle, and the whole the whole bolt carrier group or whatever the fuck you want to call it that's attached to this thing is exposed to the elements. And man, like, you think that dust in Iraq, like, nah, man.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing too is like when helos, that another thing with just such a difference between getting exfilled in Iraq and getting exfilled in Afghanistan. Like, when you get exfilled in Afghanistan, you're like,
you could be more nervous.
Fuck. Like, because there's only so many places to land in the valley, and they've seen them do it before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the Russians did it.
Yeah.
The Brits did it before that, or what have you, and just like everybody does the same thing. So they're setting up on your ass, and you're like, fuck, what the hell is going to happen here?
New guy, get up here.
Yeah, exactly. but then also, like, when it comes in, there's the gentle brownout of Iraq, which is like, oh, there's baby powder everywhere. And then there's the brownout in Afghanistan where there's rocks the size of this fucking can
Fucking pelting
hitting
you in the ass.
face and will literally draw blood, because the lift that comes in is a 47, because especially in
the altitude.
The altitude, like, you need the dual rotor, and like 60s just can't. They don't have the ass behind it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you're just like
And then you soften
screaming like a little bitch because you're like, oh my god, I got hit by fucking rocks.
That was the first time I felt so like 1993 with goggles, because we were doing, it was all helo ops because there's no ropes.
Yeah.
And I would actually like wear goggles, and they're like, what the fuck you wearing goggles for? And I'm like, fucking
You're
wait.
like, just wait,
Just
motherfucker.
wait, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I made some stupid mistakes, just not being an Afghan veteran, and like all the new guys, and well, not even new guys, but the guys that we put through selection were, they'd just done Afghan deployments, and I'd just done Iraq deployments, and I'm like loaded into it's just like completely reversed. So I'm just like, God damn, I'm definitely gonna fix this. And I remember distinctly the first fucking op that we did, which was a quick turnover op when we killed those fuckers. I loaded into the 47 first because I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just load up. And I was close to the forward door. And the trip to that little hit was like 25 minutes. And I will never
Freezing
forget
your
that.
balls
I was
off.
so fucking cold because we took off at like $6,000 or $7,000. And then we landed in a valley that was like 8. And so we were up a few thousand feet, so we were up above $10,000, and I was
With
just
the
like,
door open.
with the door open and I was just like, oh my god, I will not forget this. I'm like, the little like lesson, your own little lesson
Little
learned
notebook,
log.
yeah.
I'm like, and
Always-
going to
always-
not do this again.
Warmies.
All these motherfuckers are like, yeah, let the chief go first. He knows what he's doing.
It's like he knows what he's doing. Like, no,
But like
No.
when you land after that, it's like Dumb and Dumber at the end. He's like, and like all the like frozen, like snot's frozen.
Yeah.
He's like, we're there, man.
yeah,
And like you can't wait to get off.
yeah.
Yeah.
get me off this fucking
And another
helo.
thing about Afghanistan too that a lot of people don't know is like we would soften LZs before we would take off with like 500 pounders.
God damn, that's not a small little gesture.
We had other benefits.
Yeah.
Army, bro.
But the thing is the Afghan oak and all the rocks and shit like that, like there were still dudes existing on the LZ while we were loading up and like taking like within 100 meter like direct fire, because all you had to do was hide behind one of those trees or one of those rocks, and like the 500 pounder is not going to do anything to you as long as you have your fucking mouth open, I guess.
That just blows me away. I mean, like having one of the first schools that I went to was JTAC up it, and I went up to
I ended up going too.
to Falone, Nevada. It's the sophisticated metropolis. But that was, I went there right after they had that whole water scandal. Where they had like, I don't know what was in the water, but when you would take a shower, you're like, you're like, I do not feel clean.
Yeah.
But
It's like
my
ultra
point
hard
being is
water.
like they would drop 500 pounders, when you were testing out and doing call outs, and it was like 1,000 yards away or something, and you would still feel and hear that like shockwave go through your body, and like,
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. It
Like,
feels like
I
you're
can't
sitting-
imagine being danger close to that thing.
Dude.
I mean, we were
shit.
danger close when we were going into it, but we knew we had our predetermined like LZ or DZs. LZs. Or just extraction points, right?
Yeah.
And so we'd have like alternating primary contingent, and we would just call in a gun run on those, and we would drop bombs on all of our fucking LZs and make sure that we heard the number in order to make sure that there was no UXO. And then we would hit them kind of depending, but it would take us probably a good 45 minutes in order to like get to said zone.
Yeah.
But we would get there and we would just drop bombs on this linear fucking angle, whatever azimuth, either I called in or the actual JTAC called in, and we were still being shot at. And it's like, how the fuck are you here?
That's my point, is like, how do you fucking survive that?
Dude, they're animals.
It's just like, God damn. You just,
And they're this big, and there's like, and then they come back out and just start hosing.
We've been doing it for generations, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's
did you
crazy.
hear me? And they're sitting there looking at you. Just only thing they're hearing is.
They're deaf as fuck, but they can still shoot.
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the things actually, where are you going with that?
Oh, we
can continue with this
I was
for
going
you.
to say,
Please do.
so at the end of that deployment, and there's a lot more to that deployment, obviously, but my uncle preemptively got me a hey, you made it back. And at the time, I was really big into brown liquor, and I've been sober now for 2 years. I have had two
That's
drinks.
awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean, it was more just I had this moment where I was doing some consulting work and was in Dallas, and I had this mentor that was connected through the Honor Foundation, and she's great. And Kim Arnold, you're awesome. Shout out to Kim and John. So her husband is a retired chef, and whenever I would come into town, he would cook, and it's an extravaganza, and it's badass. And so my girlfriend and I, we go into Dallas because I'm going to be doing some consulting work, and they invite us over for dinner, and he has a 5-course meal. And for each course, he has a custom-made cocktail.
Whoa.
And I am not sober at this point, but we are on the precipice of the event that drove me to sobriety.
All right.
So,
Sounds like a good story.
so like, we're having appetizers, and it is just absolutely amazing food. If you ever have the opportunity to have a one-on-one experience with someone that's a chef and loves what they do, fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'm not a foodie. I love and appreciate food, and it's just so great. So about 7 cocktails in, I kind of lose track of time. I don't know how I got back to the hotel. I have a 7:15 call time. My alarm goes off at 6. I'm in the hotel room. I'm just like, don't know where I am. My girlfriend's there. Her and I are still together. She's like, hey babe, you got to get up. And I'm like,
Shut up!
I'm like, shut your face, bitch. Pow!
Right in the kisser.
You want one for the other eye?
Get me a drink.
But I'm like, I'm in trouble. I jump in the shower, turn it on to cold, and I'm like, holy shit, drinking coffee, and I show up and I'm just a fucking mess. And I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be rough. Somehow make it work. And then I have like another lunch, and then I had 2 podcasts in the afternoon. And like the whole time I am just a
Surviving,
shit
dude.
show.
Yeah.
And I'm just
God.
I look like hammered dog
See,
shit.
the problem is you should have just started drinking more. That usually helps.
I know. I thought about it. I thought I did have another beer at lunch because there was a team guy at the event. He's like, hey, come out with me. I forget his name, but we went out to anyway, you get the picture. But yeah, after that, I was like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? I'm trying to achieve something here, and this is getting in the way.
When
and
it
so
starts
I just
affecting
went
your
cold
goals.
turkey.
Yeah, when it starts affecting your goals, it's time to reevaluate.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Facts.
But so anyway,
Did you say
prior
fags?
to that,
Facts. No. I don't speak Kevin.
Nick's like, fags. I'm like, Jesus.
No, not at all.
Nice work.
but prior to that, so back to the whole I made it back alive, if you will. My uncle and he and I are very close to my dad's younger brother, and he got me this, and it's like, welcome home, Greg. Life is too short to drink cheap whiskey. That goes for Scotch as well. Enjoy Uncle Les the 4th, 2013. And so he got me this, and it actually comes with its own certification and shit.
No way.
So if you're, and I brought the book because I'm a fucking dork. So
Comes with a book?
no, but
hold on. You got to hear the story.
yeah.
though.
So have you heard of the Nimrod expedition to the South Pole
Yes.
Ernest
with
Shackleton?
Ernest Shackleton?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I've watched many
the
documentaries
Endurance.
on this.
So the Endurance itself,
book.
the actual ship, got consumed by the ice.
Yeah.
Well, they went back. I can't remember when, and they exhumed it from the icy depths and took inventory of
Yeah,
it.
they found it, right?
Yes, they
Yeah,
found it.
yeah.
And not only did they find the ship, but they also found that it still had scotch on board. And so
Jackpot.
they take that scotch back and they
Are you telling me?
yes.
So you're saying
Yes.
there's a chance.
So
What?
they came back and
Dude, I
then
just got
they
the chills.
whoops.
That's why I wanted to save this
Yeah.
for the episode.
Yeah.
I need the thing in the wait. Hold it in your other hand and move your right hand. Move it down. I want to get the expedition thing.
Taking
in
a
the
picture
background.
Yeah. So they like give it to I don't know what like a sommelier equivalent of scotch is,
Yeah.
but they give it to these guys and they brew an ultra limited batch of what that scotch is, and that's what this is. And so like grab some glasses because we're gonna have some,
That is fucking dope.
and I'm
dude.
gonna have some too.
Fucking
Because whilst I may be sober, it's not because I have to be.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for sharing that, man. That is
Yeah,
such
dude,
a
'cause it's
fucking
just like-
wild
I
story.
still
yeah.
have the goosebumps because I am a huge history nerd, and
And I'm not gonna
Shackleton-
pour a whole heck of a
No,
lot because
don't.
there's not a lot
Don't
here.
you dare,
100%.
and don't waste it on
But
this one.
So we're gonna shoot this, right?
yeah, it needs to set for a while.
Okay.
Ideally, you let it
Nice and
breathe
brief.
like wine. But I've had this will be the like third drink that I've had.
Coda, grab that Coca-Cola. I'm gonna make this.
Yeah, right. You would, Kevin.
Dude, you're such a.
That's on brand. That's,
you
that's
imagine,
on
dude?
brand. Here.
It's like ordering like Louis Trace and then tell them to make it into like a fucking cocktail. You're like, are you fucking retarded? This shit's like
But yeah,
thousands of dollars.
I had a beer with my uncle and my dad. Not this Christmas, but the previous one, because my dad's 80, my uncle's 74, turned 75. Like, how many more opportunities am I going to have that?
Yeah.
And then, ironically enough, the governor of Nebraska went to school with my dad and uncle, and so
Oh shit.
I ran into him and had a glass of scotch with him.
If you don't mind, maybe.
And so he's a big fan of the Hakeys for whatever reason.
Oh, show it to that one so that we can still keep eyes on
What?
him with that
Show
camera.
it to
Okay.
this one?
No,
Oh,
I
still
got
on
it.
Camera
to show it
one?
to that
Camera
one.
two? No.
Dude, that's pretty rad.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
That's super cool.
But yeah, so that's from my Uncle Les, and he's just an awesome dude. He's actually retiring this month from the VA. He was a physician's assistant for the VA for a long time. And yeah, he's finally retiring. He's 74. So yeah.
Well, thank you, sir.
Cheers. Yeah.
Indeed. You're missing the cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm helping us out.
Yeah.
Good.
Indeed.
It's all
Has-
for
has
the
this
it's
been
all
enough
for
time?
that's for the gram. That's for the gram.
Wow.
Smells good.
It definitely doesn't suck.
You know what I'm doing if I'm on Shackleton's expedition? I'm stuck in the Arctic.
But
You're like, fuck it,
I'm
we're getting
hiding a
hammered.
whole one of those, grabbing a musket pistol with 2 rounds, and then I'm going to find a penguin, and I'm going to...
you're gonna fuck the
I was
penguin.
I knew exactly where you're gonna go with that one.
Only you knew where he was going to go with it. I was thinking of just having a dope-ass warm pet, but Kevin's just like, come here, penguin.
It's got a
You
hole.
wouldn't need 2
Let me
musket
put
balls because
something
those
in it.
things, you know.
Well, the
So
funny-
is this the original distiller of the Shackleton expedition whiskey?
My uncle would be able to tell you that, but I don't know. There's
mean-
like a little booklet in there too that talks about in the bottom. There's a booklet that tells right there that tells
so
like
the crazy thing about that book
story
too, 'cause
and stuff.
I read that I think last
It's a
year. or the year
great
before.
book.
Great book. They didn't lose a single person on that expedition.
did not lose a
Everybody
single
lived.
person.
Damn.
Everybody. It took them a year to navigate.
I
that
believe
thing.
that they lost the
icebergs.
dogs at one
Yeah, they
point.
ate 'em all.
They had
and
to-
that-
they
and
had
that
to
it
eat
was
'em.
such a traumatic event because
Yeah.
they loved them so much that people were like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, we fucked up," you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn. One thing about being sober is that when you do consume alcohol, you feel it immediately because I already feel it. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
That is true. When I did dry
yeah.
January, I got the
Shut up, Kevin. You got the highest tolerance of anybody I know. Oh my God.
I got the shot show though, and I had 2 IPAs, and I'm like, babe, holy shit.
I did dry Monday. I feel pretty good.
Whew. Gosh, this shit is. How did I drink this all the time? God damn.
But the story behind that was
I'm embarrassed.
It's an incredible book. Like, and
It's
honestly,
a great book, yeah.
If you're interested in like leadership stuff, which I'm not much of a leader, but
Shut your face.
If you are, that book has a lot to do with it. Because like, if you imagine you're in that position, like, how do you, number one, get people to go on this expedition with you around this fucking crazy thing that's never been done before, and once things go bad, how do you keep people in the right spirits? How do you keep them motivated? How do you go through all that?
Yeah, talk about challenging
and then
circumstances.
Don't lose anybody. And everybody made it out of there. I think the worst thing that happened was like somebody lost some teeth or something.
What's this Costco sticker at the bottom? They'd be like,
gotcha, bitch.
I thought this is a Kirkland expedition.
everywhere. Yeah. Dude, are these still available even? I can't imagine they're even available
I have
for sale.
no idea.
That's crazy.
when did
Again,
he give that to you? When you came back from
2013,
Afghanistan?
yeah. When I came
Fuck,
back.
dude.
Yeah.
Wow, 1907.
Yeah. That's when he gave it to me.
This is such an awesome.
But yeah, he's super supportive of me. He's a great patriot, you know, just an amazing human, you know.
It's
awesome.
so good to
But,
have those people.
Thank
in
you
our
for
lives.
sharing, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was
Hands down.
well, shit, I need to have something special to present to you
Dude,
guys.
that's pretty badass.
Dude, absolutely.
You got all these fucking amazing people showing up on this podcast, so
Well, you're one of them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, don't think this is a one-way thing. We got a T-shirt for you.
thanks, buddy. I'm missing a little.
Oh, we're the neck. the neck
So I
wrap.
laid it down in there because
Oh, okay, there we
it's
are.
very.
There we are.
You got to
Yeah, I
lay it
gotcha.
down very perpendicular.
Yeah,
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
that's pretty legit. So
Can you imagine finding that? Like,
Yes, I can.
I would love to go to the South Pole, just to, at the very least, to say I've been there, summit the mountain there, you know, kind of thing. Like, I think it'd be fucking
Visit the
badass.
alien
I was one of my Arctic badge.
Yeah.
They have like the Arctic badge,
Do they?
and it's just white.
Well,
And
that makes
there's
sense.
like 8 people in the entire army that have it. I don't know.
Yeah, the
about
Navy
entire
has
DoD.
like the whole wintered in fucking.
Yeah, you get a medal for
You get a
that shit.
medal.
They're
Yeah,
like, wow,
it's like, thanks for dealing with this.
that was hardcore.
All they do is fucking penguin and eat a seal.
Because, I mean, once you're there, like, that's it. Like, after a certain period of time, like, last flight's out, like, you're done. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's coming.
Is
Yeah,
it
you're
seasonal
stuck for a
there?
while.
Do they have seasons?
don't
Since it's
know.
like down there.
I would think
I
so.
mean, they
I don't
have
know.
one that's dark and one that's light, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Maybe it's
I'm
the
just trying to
sunshine.
think. Like,
if
I don't think that they're. I
Just
think it's just
perpetual
perpetually
winter?
winter, and like one's maybe more storm prone.
Yeah,
Well,
I would
I
think
mean-
for them, the time for more flights, I would think, would be our winter time because they're in
Yeah,
the
like,
southern.
it's summer there now.
you get
Yeah.
more,
I mean,
at least more
relatively
daylight.
speaking.
Yeah, more
'Cause-
daylight, which makes it warmer, and the
Yeah.
runway is going to be easier. Yeah.
I mean, there isn't even really a runway, is there? It's just like,
yeah,
this
they
is
like
flat
land
ice.
on fucking skids and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, C-130s with.
Yeah, just take a snowplow.
Dude, that's
wild.
fucking.
Hey
nuts,
guys, you
dude.
want to enjoy this on a break real quick?
yeah,
Yeah, good
let's
time
do
for
a
a break.
break. Yeah. I mean, aren't we filming?
Our producer says no.
It's official.
Yeah, as long as you
does
keep your
feel more-
orange phone in your pants.
It
Yeah.
does feel more official with the clap, though. But yeah.
So after my third back surgery, I was walking around with a walker. I was just in a world of hurt, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't want to live the rest of my life like this." So I reached out to SEAL Future Foundation and Joey Theo was running
Yeah, they're
the
great.
medical side at that
Yeah.
point. And I was like, "Hey, bro, what do we have on deck for support in this area? Like, I'm not in a great place." And he said, "Here's our contacts. We can put your name on the list." I'm like, "Cool, let's put my name on the list. Where am I at on the list?" He was like, "Well, there's about 85 people in front of you." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." And I had just exited a pharma startup. And so that's a whole other story. But I had some cash laying around, and I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to live like this.
Pay
so
out of pocket.
yeah, I paid out of pocket, and I went and engaged with Carol Bender, Scotty's wife, and she owns Joy Wellness, and they have a partnership with a clinic down in Mexico. And I went and fucking told them, hey, this is what I've got going on. And I went down there and I had 3 complete treatments, and here we are.
What kind of treatments were they?
Stem cells. I got stem cells down in Mexico. And what's crazy is, so we've been talking a lot about Afghanistan. Well, I jumped off a roof in Afghanistan at one point, and I didn't know this, but I broke my ankle.
Ooh.
I did have to get exfilled on that mission because I couldn't walk. And when we went back, we had an FST assigned, like co-located with us, and they did an X-ray, and they're like, "You're fine." Well, go to Joy Wellness literally
Were they Brits?
a decade later. No, they were Americans, goddammit. But they were Navy too. Anyway, I went to Joy Wellness, and while I was getting my back checked out, they have these badass ultrasounds there because of course it's a private clinic.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, why don't you guys check out my ankle? Because like this thing has been hurting literally for 10 years. And the doc like scanned it for maybe 90 seconds. And he goes, have you ever broken your ankle? I'm like, no. He's like, you sure about that? And I'm like, seems like there's a different answer here. And he goes like, well, here, let me show you this. He's like, this is where your ankle's been broken and it healed. This is where you broke your ankle again and it healed.
Wow.
He's like, here. He was like, see this? And I was like, yeah. He goes, move your foot.
Still broken.
And this thing's like, yes.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like,
It's currently
what's that?
broken.
And he goes, that's your bone. He's like, that's where you broke your ankle again, and it's still broken. And so
Dang.
I'd been walking on a
With legs
broken
like that,
ankle.
you broke ankles?
I know,
Jesus,
right?
bro.
I carry the mail every
Like
day,
breaking
and it's
tree
really
trunks.
hard.
Damn.
But yeah, so I asked them to do a round of injections on my ankle too, and now my bone healed. So like stem cells are fucking badass.
Dude,
Can't
there's
say
some
enough
wild
good
stuff
things
out there,
about
man.
that shit. Like, and now, I mean, this was like 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. And like, it's even better now. I mean,
Yeah.
like, doesn't UFC has a place down there now that they sponsor and all that kind of
think so,
shit,
yeah.
like CPI. And it's
Yeah.
even better than it was then. And it's really damn good now. It was really good then, and it's even better now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's some
saying.
crazy advances, man.
Yeah, but
It's pretty wild.
pretty nuts.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they just released some of that shit so that you could just do it in the States.
Oh, well, I
Big
mean,
pharma, baby.
being part of a pharma startup briefly and being in that world, like, they're not incentivized for you to heal like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
you know,
of
the
course.
pharma company that I was a part of was badass. They actually gave a shit about their patients. Shout out to Biohaven Pharmaceuticals and Vlad Chorich. Like, he was great. Like, definitely
My wife worked
owe
for
a
him
lot
for a
to
while.
him. Yeah, I forgot that's right. Because
No shit.
when
Wow.
she came in, I was like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, so her and I actually worked in the same place. But, yeah, like a really good company. But, yeah, generally speaking, pharma isn't incentivized to heal you. They want to keep you as a patient for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, like most pharmas, Biohaven I would say, is the exception to that.
Yeah.
Like, they genuinely give a shit about their
Well, they hooked
patients.
her. They hooked Gabby. She'd been working with this one company for like 18 years, and she goes, "Dude, they're giving me a raise. I'm getting into a small startup that has a lot of room for upward mobility." And she goes, "This would be fucking cool." They got bought out by Pfizer.
But she got a
Wow.
payout too, right? Like at least a little bit of a kick.
Yeah. She got hooked up, and then when she went to Pfizer, she was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
and
Pfizer
went back to her old
sucked.
company.
Yeah, I
damn,
got the boot from Pfizer. I was there for like 5 months, and then got
Yeah.
a severance package, and they were like, "Beat it, nerd." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Cool,
Yeah.
peace."
Gabby went back to her old company, and her old company, the lady, it doesn't matter, but she basically went back to her old company, and now it's like she never left.
Yeah.
So, yeah. She's been with that company for like 20 fucking years.
Dang.
Yeah. Drugs and shit.
Drugs and shit. Yeah, for sure. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, that's a wild landscape, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean,
Well, so maybe that's a good segue. Like, so once you got out, like, what brought you into that landscape of that and that whole ecosystem?
yeah. So Indirectly, the Honor Foundation, actually. So
I've heard a lot of good things about them.
I like
me
them.
too.
I've had great experience with them. Still maintain connection with them. If only just to give back. But was getting out, and you go on these things called treks. And so I got out in, what year was it? 2019. 2019. So February of 2019, I go on this trek to Dallas. Or is it January? Something like that. But they take you to these cities, and they have all these stops set up with different organizations that they've engaged with. And the organization's like, hey,
cool.
this is us. Yeah. And it's free for you if you're a part of the Honor Foundation. It opens up your network.
Yeah.
And they partner, they take someone that's transitioning out of the military, not transitioning.
Right.
No, I want to be clear. But they take someone that's getting out and partner them with that stop. And so my stop was with Texas Capital Bank. And my point of contact was Kim Arnold, and who is responsible, her husband's responsible for me being sober, primarily, except for today. But yeah, so her and I met in 2019, and we did this presentation on leadership for Texas Capital Bank. And she was like, hey, I think it'd be really cool if I present what it looks like within the civilian sector, and then you talk about the military. And then we had a lunch and everything. And at the end of it, she said, hey, that was great. I want to talk to you about a project that I want you involved in. And I'm just like, sure, yeah, whatever. I'm never going to hear from you again.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever. So fly back on Friday. On Monday, I get a text message from her. Hey, what's your schedule like this week? I want to talk to you about this project. And I was like, okay. And basically it was, she wanted to build a leadership development curriculum for emerging middle managers. And she said, I want you to fly out and help me and my team build this out because I think you have great perspective. And I'm like, okay, like, I'll fly out.
$1 million.
Yeah, right. And like, I'm an E8. I'm living paycheck to paycheck because I've been divorced once at this stage. Got child support, alimony, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
that goes.
So, she flies me out. They pay for my hotel. They pay for my flight, and then they give me $3,000 for 3 days of work. And I was just like, holy shit, this is a fuck ton of money. I'm like, God damn. And I'm flying back from Dallas, and I thought to myself, fuck, I could do this for a living. I was like, I'm already doing this. And so I started a consulting company, and
cool.
they were a client. I got Biohaven became a client through a buddy of mine was affiliated with them, and they asked him to work for him, but he was still active duty, and he passed it off to me. And then I got a couple more clients, and I had like this little client base before I'd even gotten out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was sick. And I still had a contractor gig at the Trade at One at CQC. And so I was a contractor there, which is like you work, 2 weeks every other month.
It's a good gig, man.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck yeah. But what was crazy is things started spinning out, and even those 2 weeks, I was losing money because things were going so well.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck, I guess I've got to grow up and I need to leave. And so I put in my 2 weeks with the khaki, I think it was. And
That's the point I left SQT as well.
yeah, I was like, hey, this was great, but this is the future. As much as I love just running the kill house and being with the boys, which I do love and I do still miss, is like,
So fulfilling. Yeah.
this is where I need to go, and this is the direction that I took. And then fucking COVID hit.
Oh, fuck.
Everything fucking dropped out. But rather
timing.
serendipitously, right before then, Biohaven asked me right before COVID, they said, hey, do you want to come on full time? And at the initial offer, I was like, I don't think so, because I would lose money becoming a salaried person. And then COVID hit, and I'm like,
Hey,
man.
guys.
Hey, guys.
What up?
Did I say no?
What are you doing tonight?
What that ass do? What that mouth do?
Yeah, it was pretty serendipitous because I'd been accepted to USC's executive MBA program.
Oh, dude,
and
that's
then,
awesome.
And at the same time, they had given me that offer, and then COVID hit, and it made me reflect. It's like, okay, I can't hustle full time in a consulting as an army of one, trying to make this fucking business work. And then
It's a lot of moving
also
parts,
go to school every other weekend for 2 fucking years. Because that school is a fucking kick in the dick. I will not go
Didn't
back to school.
Punky go to that?
He did. He was the cohort in front of me with a couple other team guys. But I was the only team guy in my cohort. But yeah, that learned a lot.
Did you
Great
go?
experience. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, that's
graduated
cool.
2022. So fight on. I'm a USC alum.
Nice.
And I'm actually on the USC alumni board for San Diego.
Oh,
so, yeah, I know.
That's cool.
Fucking nerd. But
Do they need any T-shirts?
do they? Fuck yeah, we do. Fuck yeah, we do.
I know a guy.
But yeah, you do know a guy. But yeah, that's what got me into that whole space was I started that, and then Biohaven said, hey, we'll give you time for school. Vlad Chorich was affiliated with somehow with the Green Berets, somehow with Special Forces at some point, and had a huge soft spot for SOF. And yeah, I literally just spoke with him a few weeks ago. But yeah, that's how I got into the whole private sector, really.
So for our listeners, what is and are the skill sets that took you into that kind of like realm? Like what were you providing companies that was so needed from you?
Oh my God. Just like one thing that I would say that the military does well holistically, which we would probably disagree on, is leadership. Like the leadership lessons that I would teach people was shit that I learned as an E5.
Yeah.
You know, because you're just thrown into the crucible. But that doesn't happen. That sort of professional development doesn't happen in the private sector.
It happens over 20 years in the private sector.
Yeah, maybe if you're lucky, if you have someone that gives a fuck about you, you know, and if you're at a good company, which Biohaven definitely is a good company, and they have that sort of culture, that mentorship culture. So it was a really easy transition for me from the teams into my first corporate experience, which really wasn't too corporate. It was a startup, but it was very, very similar because like in the teams you have people that, you know, as people know, like that they're there to mentor you, that they give a fuck about you. It's, hey, what do you want to do next rotation? How can I invest in you? How can you contribute to the team? Have you thought about that? There's like all of that stuff doesn't happen in the private sector, but it does at some companies, and it happened at Biohaven. And so from a skill perspective, there's the ability to move quickly on decisions, which definitely doesn't happen in pharma very often because they're incentivized to be risk averse because mistakes are very expensive.
Yeah.
Very, very expensive. Like you're hundreds of millions of dollars if something doesn't go right. So being able to do that, there's just what any veteran brings to the table of figure it the fuck out of, hey, you've never done this before. I don't care. Here's what you need to do. Go do it. And I don't want to touch you. Just like get the fuck out of my face and solve the problem. You know, like that's very veteran centric, and corporations really appreciate that. If anything, like we as veterans want more autonomy than they're comfortable with. It's like, hey, leave me alone. Like I've got this. Back the fuck off, please.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I will hand you results.
Yeah, I will give you results. Just get the fuck out of my way.
Let me run my team, Bob.
Yeah, it's like, let me run my team, Bob.
And that's one of my most asked questions that I get from friends because, you know, when I got out, and I'm sure with a lot of us, if not all of us, is, you know, nobody's trying to hire the quintessential knuckle-dragging, gun-toting, you know, shooter. And so, nobody is unless you want to go to Blackwater, which is
for sure.
why
But
I
you're
went
so
there.
much more than that, as you know.
But that's not what we were trained to think-ish, right? Like, yeah, we were taught the leadership skills and things like that. But I mean, I was given a lot of grief leaving the military because it's wasted talent. You're going to fail. You're going to come right back. And there's that fear tactic that's inundated in service members that are trying to get out.
They
at
just
13.
don't want you to do anything different than they're doing.
Right, exactly, and to the point.
I mean,
and
you saw that a lot.
Yeah, and I heard Beto say this one-on-one. It's like everybody will support you and wants to see you be successful until you are more successful than them.
Exactly.
And then the script flips. And that was probably one of the biggest takeouts that I've had from any conversation I've had with Andy. And and it's the biggest bane, I think, of veteran existence.
Yeah.
Is this transition. And I have so many questions because one of my best friends, he was actually our sniper in Ramadi, he actually just texted me this week. He said now he officially is capped at his bonuses and his pay scale and everything at Chase Bank in Scottsdale. Like, he can't grow anymore. And
Time to move on.
Time to move, exactly.
And,
Time to move,
and
buddy.
that was our next question, because it's like me and like 3 of us
Get off the
in
X.
this little
Yeah.
group thread. And I'm like, so what do you do now? And he's like, I don't need more money. And he has so many side hustles. And like, dude, he's making probably $50,000 a year off of like flipping generators.
Wow.
Like all these like little nuances and stuff. Like, I mean, he is the most Dave Ramsey motherfucker with hair out of any person I've ever met. So like, he's stable. He could retire in 5 years if he really wants to. But him and I think very differently, where, I mean, he's definitely a family man, and I am more of the like chasing the dragon kind of guy. And I'm like, all right, what's next? You know, like, I get bored easily, whereas he doesn't. And I asked him that, and he's like, I don't know what I should do. And he's like, this is why I'm texting you. Like, I am now officially told you cannot make any more money. And by any more money, in the grand scheme of things, especially on the West Coast, it's not that much money. You know, I mean, you're creeping at
Well, but if he wants
high
different things than
200s.
you, if he wants different things than you, and if he's in a place that doesn't
and I'm not
require
knocking him
that,
for it. You know, I'm just kind of asking the question, because I had another guy when I was sitting here waiting for the podcast DM me, and him and I served together back in like 2011, and he's thinking of just moving to Mexico because it's make dollars, spend pesos kind of thing, and he has
can
the
relate to that,
opportunity.
yeah.
I mean, I moved down there and I did the same thing. But I think, you know, a lift out of this is you went into like med tech, you know, kind of field, and then also helping consult on leadership styles. Ryan went into apparel that has nothing to do with NSW, but also taking the business model of how to be efficient and cut out all the bullshit. Right? I don't need 15 opinions. I need 2, and
Yeah.
it's only the 2 that matter. And then Kevin's doing the same thing by mitigating all the bullshit in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And let's just ask this guy, because this guy's going to know. Now we don't have to ask 10 guys, and now we don't have to chat GPT this. So there's so many different aspects that us as veterans are collectively pulling out of our experience in the service, and have now somewhat and consistently finding success and or battling it and trying to maintain it. And I think that's honestly what the listeners really want to hear is why medtech, and what do we have to
It's
offer?
just a chance, really. It was just chance.
Just give me a foot in the door.
Yeah,
Well,
just give me a foot in the door, and then like
What about this? Like, because he brings up a great point. It's like, what can the viewer take away from this? Is from their experience in your travels, in your experiences, in your transition from leadership in the military into leadership in the civilian world, like, what were the 3 biggest things that you saw that were like, oh, this isn't where I can apply this lesson and make a change? Or what were the 3 biggest things that you saw like, oh, this is an easy implementation? Or maybe a hard implementation.
The first thing that comes to mind is that within the military, we understand the human terrain, because HR is baked into the cake. And whether you realize it or not, is that as you climb the ranks, you're actually also learning the human resources side, but the actual human side of the resources, not the compliance side, which is lame.
Yeah.
But
Great.
it's the person that
Mitigation
it's the portion where you're like, I understand what makes you tick, and I know how to get the most out of you. And I think from a general perspective, whether you were in the teams or in the conventional military or what have you, is like, you understand how to build and lead a team. Even if you were a fucking corporal in the Marine Corps, like, you understand how to run a fire team way better than most managers do out there, because you've fucking seen it, you know?
Well, even about goal setting and fucking being accountable.
Yeah, what's the
6
end
months
state
at a
we're
time.
shooting for?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, there's times when I'm sitting there watching Gabby at her computer, going, "Oh, I have to submit an annual fucking, you know, whatever their annual like brag sheet
Brag
bullshit."
sheet, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, you used to as an LPO, it's like, dude, every fucking month I used to make my fucking guys like, hey, give me 3 fucking bullet points that you did this month. Turn that shit in. Because I know if I wait until 6 months, you motherfuckers are going to be like,
You're like, oh shit, what did I do?
You know?
Yeah.
So then at least every month you have something you fucking done, whether it's, you know, any of that shit. You know, as a comm guy, I did fucking A, B, C, and D. As a fucking first Louis rep, I did fucking this. I did, you know, but yeah, the good shit I think the military does very well is you set goals and at least in the team guy realm, we're doing the same shit every 2 fucking years. So it's repeatable every 2 fucking years, and you see the same results over and over and over and over. So it's like, okay, fuck, man, I could do 3 platoons in a row, and at least by the 3rd fucking time, I'm pretty fucking flawless at getting some of this shit done. You know, if nothing else, it in terms of admin bullshit and setting guys up for success with their fucking careers.
This might be an interesting caveat, or hopefully it's not too much of a side quest, but I was mainly an E5 in my whole career. Whether I was an E6 or an E2, whatever, I was mainly like, I wasn't in charge of a lot of shit. I was mainly an E5 all the time.
I'm glad you had structured it that way, because I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, my role was basically an E5. I did end up making E6, you know, barely. But basically I was a low-ranking, not in charge of shit, middle enlisted team guys. So I never made chief or senior chief. So from you guys' perspective, what's the difference from where you guys, and I personally, I really struggled with leadership when I got out, because I did not, what you guys are describing is like what you guys learned. I did not learn. Maybe I'm just a fucking meathead, and I'm very resistant to like learning that kind of shit. So
I would push back against that, because I think you've reinvented yourself a number of times since I've known you.
I did learn a lot as an instructor, and then I feel like I learned more as a civilian instructor later when we were working at SQT together. I was there for 8.5 years, and that taught me a lot more about leadership than I ever learned as a E5 or E6 in the military. But from your guys' perspective, going through that E5, E6 mark, and then chief and senior chief, do you feel like you really learned leadership lessons at those levels that were more applicable?
Absolutely.
Or do you feel like guys were like, you get out E5, E6, and like you kind of get it? Or what was the jump from to chief or senior chief where you're like, oh shit, this is something that's applicable, that's new, that's usable?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I can think of instances throughout my career where I was instilled with being in charge of something and had to have authority over that. Like my first Iraq deployment, I was the primary JTAC, and I was a new guy. You know, we went from PACOM to Iraq, was still new, you know, technically 2 deployments there, what have you. And like, I'm briefing, you know, 04s, 05s, you know, like, hey, this is what we want to do. And it's like just taking charge of that was a learning experience, and just figuring it the fuck out in that space. You had something
so for
on that.
yeah, like a lot of our listeners, something we need to be privy of, and I've read this a lot in the comments, is just trying to make sure that the listeners are privy to the absolute dynamic of what a JTAC is. So JTAC is this, and this is also why it's so important.
Yeah, it's a joint terminal air controller, and like I was in charge of all assets, air assets, fixed and rotary wing, whether that be on insert, whether it be for medevac, whether it be for call for fire. And so like one time,
Hold on before
one time,
we gotta,
you know,
Kevin's heading out.
yeah.
Got a heart out.
Hey,
Later, bro.
let me know
Bro,
me.
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Stay in touch.
Tell
No,
Gabby
for
you
sure.
said hello.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Hey,
No sweat,
good.
man. All right, see you. Drive safe.
Life of the party's leaving.
Hands down.
Maybe do some lunges. You don't have much of an ass anymore.
My muffin tops.
I mean, you commented on my butt earlier, so I'm just saying, like,
Well,
clearly I know the recipe for success.
Speaking of leadership,
I got muffin tops for days.
so yeah, joint tactical air controller. So you were in charge of all fixed and rotary wing
Fixed and
aircraft?
rotary wing, no matter what, whether it's
Yeah.
for insert, infil, medevac, call for fire.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's a lot of responsibility.
Hey, it's a shit ton of responsibility.
and I was
a lot of-
new, and I didn't have a mentor, and it was just like, figure it the fuck out.
Were you E5 at the time?
I was an E5.
Okay, yeah.
I was an E5 at the time, and like, fuck, nobody had been to combat at that point.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yep. All right, yeah, use that key, and then,
I'll just leave it in there.
yeah, thanks.
But yeah, I remember distinctly we had one op, because we opened up Al Assad, and we were out in Al Anbar, and we were in the middle of fucking nowhere, and I had 17 different assets that I was managing, you know, from insert, infil, you know, like all kinds of shit, refueling, and I was just like, had my own little helmet fire going on there, you know. It's just like, holy shit, like, this is real, you know. We've gone way beyond the school, but I mean, at that point we were halfway into the deployment, but that was probably the most intense. But generally speaking, I just remember briefing the pilots, the ones that were organic to us, because we had first air cav with us, and then we had third MAR div, the guys from here out of Miramar,
yeah.
or here because it's the south, came in and ripped out, and we're dealing with them. But I remember briefing the first air cav guys over the fucking in the chow hall, and I just like bringing they call it a jog map, because it's like a big like hey, this is where we're gonna be. Here's the battle map, you know, with all the grids and shit like that. And I was just like, this is the shit that I read about when I was at a fucking kid. I'm like, this is badass. And just being able to then build off that and learning like, okay, this is what we really need to do. This is what is the best for the mission, and taking that and just leading that little piece and then building that into throughout the career. I would say that the real watershed moment for me was after I'd made chief. I made it at SQT, then went back to a team, and like, you're not in the regular teams, like, you're not one of the boys anymore necessarily, but I still felt like I was one of the boys. And I remember Danny Fox, actually, I was attached to his platoon. He like incorporated me into his platoon, and I'm still friends with some of those guys to this day. I was literally like, just got a text from one of them just before coming in here, and we were at Shaw's, and I took my shirt off and just had suspenders, and it was shooting steel with just suspenders. And Danny was like, he was like, hey man, you shouldn't be doing that for a number of reasons. He was like, you're a fucking chief now.
Like what? I got iPro. What do you
and
think?
I was like, I'm good, man. Like little cuts all over
Might
the
lose
place.
a nipple, no big deal.
And I was like, oh shit, you're probably right. And I think that was the first time that it was like, oh fuck, you know, you're not one of the guys anymore. But does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I had a different experience with that, but I know there was to take your word, the watershed moment for me was where I was a new guy checking into third phase as an instructor. And I was in E6, but I'd been in platoons the whole time at Team 1, so I'd never really gone back to the center at all. My only previous experience walking across the grinder was as a fucking bud student.
Yeah, as a student, yeah.
And you know you're never supposed to walk across the grinder. You got to run. You got to you don't want to be on the grinder. That's like the spotlight is on you.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You're like sprinting across there trying to like get out of there. And I remember walking across the grinder with my blue and gold instructor shirt. And I'm like, fuck, somebody's come out here and tell me to drop down. And I'm like, wait.
That's me now.
That's me now. Exactly. Yeah. I was like, ooh, wow, this is a different level. This is a different game. And there was a series of other incidences too where mainly me fucking things up, talking with students, and you know, it is being a new instructor, you're like you have to, at least it was for me, where it was that pendulum where initially I was super nice, like trying to be one of the boys and friends with all the guys, and then third phase is different than SQT.
For
third
sure.
phase, they're still students, and like they don't give a fuck about anything. They're just trying to get through the program.
They're just trying to survive.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to teach them all this shit, and they're like, what's the minimum amount of shit I have to do?
I have to do and remember in order to just
like
make
knock
it through.
it wet and make it through and not fucking die, right? And so my initial approach to it for the first couple classes was trying to be super nice and friends with them. And then I got fucked a couple times by the students, and I was like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. And then there was the pendulum swung the other way, and I was a complete asshole
to the students for a couple classes. And then I'm like, bro, that's not the right way to do it either. And I was like, dude, because these guys are like, if I had gone back to a team, like, these guys would be my platoon mates, man. Like, you can't treat them like shit.
Yeah.
They are students, but you can't treat them like fucking shit, especially in third phase. You know what I mean? So I had a couple moments where like, dude, man, I really fucked up that interaction. I shouldn't have said that to that guy. I should have used a little bit more grace and patience, or maybe articulated my point a little bit better. So it was a different format. But I think the lesson is probably very similar, where I was like, shit, man, I need to level up if I want to be good at my role now as an instructor in a leadership position. I need to understand what it takes to be a good leader. I need to understand that this is a totally different dynamic than the position that I was in before. Mm-hmm. And I need to understand the metrics of that, and then work on becoming good at that. And I don't know that I ever did, but I hope that my hope for my time as an instructor was that the students saw me as fair but firm. That's what I was trying to go for. And, you know, as a leadership position, you always emulate, like, not emulate, but you take the positive and the negative from leadership people that you have in your life and your position moving forward, right? So, like, a lot of what I learned from leadership was how not to be a good leader. I'm like, for sure. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That guy's a fucking dick. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But then other guys too, like Mark Crampton, when I was going through sniper
Such
school.
a fucking great dude.
Phenomenal.
That crushed me.
I know. It's so sad the way that guy went down.
I was in
the way that
school
went down.
when I found that out.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he's such a good leader, just a steadfast, like, super calm. Never saw that guy yell. He was never upset. He was almost like a father figure. You know?
He was a CMC at 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did his CMC at 7.
Phenomenal personality.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from him about, like, what good leadership was, and he was super fair but super firm. Like, you knew what to expect. You knew it was a high performance, but you knew if you made the grade, you passed.
There's a fucking standard.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a standard.
And
Yeah.
he held the
Yeah.
fucking line. But if you didn't meet the standard, he was like, hey, man, here's why you didn't meet the standard. Here's someone to help you achieve the standard.
And this is
next time.
corrective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a fuck you. It was like, hey, man, like, you're a team guy. We want you to succeed.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do to help you. And I was like, fuck, man, that was a new experience for me. So a lot of what I learned from what I emulated in my experience with trying to be a good leader or trying to be a good instructor for the guys was honestly Mark Crampton. Just trying to be, like, fair but firm. You know, I fucked it up a lot of times, but I tried to be, you know, objective about it. But the funny part is too, you know what it is when you run into a lot of students or former students now, and you run into a bar and like, man, you're a dick. You did this and this and this when I was a student. And you're like, well, did you deserve it? Like, well, yeah, but that's not the point. Well, you know what I mean? Because the other part too is, like, they want that grace extended to them, but at the same time, they want you to hold the line.
People need boundaries.
People need boundaries. Yeah,
Everybody does.
It's like kids, man.
Except for me.
It's a lot like kids.
I don't need boundaries.
Somewhere here, somewhere.
It was
What's a boundary?
It was a very eye-opening experience for me, and honestly, entrepreneurship too. When we scaled up to like 24 people on staff, in 4 locations and a bunch of shit, like, that was a really big eye-opening experience for me as a leader, realizing that all the shit that I learned in the military most of it was not applicable, at least from because I was never a leader in the military aside from, like, instructor, which is very different than you know, leading a civilian team. And I was like, wow, I need to tear down my ideas of what it means to be a leader again, and how do I become a good leader to this new team that I have? To what are the new standards? Like, how do I communicate with this team? What do they need from me in order to achieve their goals and our goals and the company's goals? And it was a really big eye opener for me to realize that I sucked at it in a lot of ways, man.
I mean, I would contend that it's a lifelong journey, and it's a constantly evolving process.
Yeah, that's a conclusion I came to, is like,
You just do the best you can at the time.
Yeah, best you can with what you have, and you try and learn from it.
And you try not to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
And that's pretty
And
much
it's hard.
all you can do.
I mean, being a good leader is hard, but the fact that if you're putting in the effort really is almost half of it, because then that means that you give a shit.
Exactly.
And I think so many people out there just don't give a shit. You know, they're not leaders; they're managers of people.
Yeah, they're directors. Like,
Yeah.
do what I say because I said so.
Yeah,
Because I
because I
rank you.
said
Like,
so.
bro, that's not a fucking reason. You're not
Yeah.
going to get shit out
That's
of a
never
person.
a leader, and you're never going to get respect. You're
Yeah.
never going to get anybody to care about you, or at least fucking listen to you, like during Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
And like, if you're that type of leader, and I like, dude, the better half, no, not the better half, but the better part of my Ramadi deployment was those people that I fucking despised, because this is like early on, right? And it was USER, and so it was like Oconus. And they were fucking not held to the same standards. A lot of them didn't have tabs. Like, you're just the most worthless of leadership of all time. There's a reason why we lost fucking 48 guys, like my first fucking deployment.
Jesus.
Because you're just disgusting fucking human beings that like aren't putting it there.
Yeah.
And that I think honestly maybe groomed me later on when I got to E6 was like, I wouldn't ask my guys to do anything that I wouldn't do.
So
I was
true.
always a front runner of like during EIB. So in the military, especially infantry, we have EIB training, which is like over the course of like 2.5 months, and it's expert infantry badge. So you have to prove
That's the one without the wreath.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to
Okay.
prove absolute. It's actually harder to earn other than just getting shot at. Absolute proficiency in every infantry tactic, anywhere from a hand grenade to a fucking pistol to a Gustav to an AT4 to a fucking 50 to like assembly, disassembly, like, but everything has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you go 1, 3, 4, 6, you're fucking done. And like, it's a go, no go.
Sounds like the Trident board.
And I did all of it with my
Which
guys.
they don't do anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a different story, but yeah.
Yeah, and so I went through it, and I ended up getting an ARCOM and a couple of awards because I ran 2 of my guys through it, and I was the only squad leader, or I was the squad leader with the highest pass rate. Normally, the attrition rate on this is about 80% for EIB in an entire battalion, and I had, out of my 10-guy recce squad, I had 7 guys get their EIB, and I did the road march with them. I did all the
That's a good
training.
percentage.
I stayed up late. I mean, it's the best percentage that was in the entire battalion out of, what is this battalion? Like 400,
I don't know, dude.
500 guys
Yeah.
around there. And because I always did it, and I think like the biggest benefit is, so hearing back to your question, there was that, right? Like, lead by the front, but then also having the forward thought of what's the most likely course of action and what's the worst course of action, and having the foresight to think 5 steps ahead of like, if I make this decision, how is this going to go, and what are going to be my answers? It's like A/B testing. And if I make this decision, what is the worst course of action and what's the best course of action? And there might be, a root nest of how many different ways that you can handle the problem that's put in front of you. And I go out this way, but then likely and worst. And by isolating all of those and like, this is the best course of action, and especially in military leadership, being able to defend your decision that you made. Like, I made this decision. Why the fuck did you make that decision? In the event that it goes wrong, which it very well can. This is why I made this decision, because if I would have done this, this could have happened. This could have jeopardized this. We would have lost a shit ton more assets. If I had this, I didn't have air, and I wasn't able to call in air, and so then we had no support, and then now we're going to have another fucking Red Wings, and if I did this, and so on and so forth. But then now, circle back fucking 10 years later, I'm getting Facebook messages from guys, and they're like, God damn, was I fucking scared of you? But I respected you, and you're always fair, and you always did it. And my disciplinary course of action was
Those are good accolades.
Like,
Yeah,
what
that's,
is-
that's
what you
something
suck
you
at.
strive for.
Yeah. And dude, like having these like heartwarming, I mean, it wasn't heartwarming. It was like, I mean, these guys are drunk, which is when they kind of let their guard down.
It's when they're saying the truth.
Yeah, literally. But they would
So
message
true.
me and they're like, I fucked up. And they're like, but I would throw a gas mask on them. I would throw a rucksack on them, and I would throw a Mark 48. And I'm like, all right, you're going to do low readies for hours. You know why? It's going to build your core as opposed to doing push-ups, right? Or I would have them like run like an O course with like nods on, and like just random shit like that, or to maybe make them a little bit better. But it was the fear tactic, and then the prediction of best and worst courses of action kind of led into, I don't know, I guess leadership in the civilian world. But the problem is having such high standards, and especially when you're coming from a process that has selection. I carried that over to my fucking marriage, which is why I'm divorced.
Yeah.
Or I carried it
we're all
over to
divorced.
friendships.
Except for Kevin, he's not here anymore.
And
Found
then
a keeper with
when I would
Gary.
get the woe is me, I had no pity, like no fucks given. I'm like, how would you just fucking be better?
Ooh, yeah,
And
that
like-
goes over well in a
and-
marriage.
I'm like, because you're just saying, like, don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You made it 6 times, and I no longer have pity, and I'm just fucking over it. And like, woe is you? Be better. And
I found that when I was an instructor that I had there was a little bit of a hangover coming home.
yeah,
And my second wife, who Kevin and Gabby know, there was definitely some like, had a few moments where she was like, hey, motherfucker.
I'm not your student.
I'm not your exactly.
I've-
She
I've
said
heard the same fucking
exactly
thing.
that. She's like, I'm not one of your fucking students.
and that's
Yeah.
hard
And
you're
to
like,
unfuck.
oh yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
you're
have
right.
absolute power here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I think if anybody's looking to transition to something else, I think an important thing, whether that's getting out of the military into a corporate role or getting out of the military into a civilian role or entrepreneurship role or pretty much anything, is you got to realize like, or into a JTAC role or into anything new, you got to be willing to be a new guy again. You got to be willing to accept it. Like, hey, I don't know anything about this. I can't. I mean, you do carry over your experience,
Exactly.
but it's not a exact parallel. Like you can take your experience and guide you on this new thing, but you have to be willing to be a new guy again and be like, hey, I don't know. Let me fucking learn this thing, this
also
new
humility.
thing.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, and a lot of
Yeah.
people steer away from that. You know, it's literally something that I'm approaching with my teenage son, my youngest, is that he had a vulnerable moment with me the other day and admitted that he plays football. He's here at Mira Mesa High, and I take him to the gym when I have custody of him, and I always try and get him to do pull-ups, and he is very resistant to that. And I asked him point blank. He and I have been working on communication because he's a little quiet.
How old is he
And
now?
he's 15.
Hard age.
Yeah, he's as tall as I am, and he's big. Like,
He's got your legs.
yeah, he definitely has my legs. He definitely has my legs, and I mean, I hope for him that he actually is taller than me. But yeah, he admitted to me, he was just like, yeah, I don't want to do them because I'm not good at them. And I was like, well,
Right.
you have to fucking start somewhere. I was like, do
Yeah.
you know how I started when I
did
wanted to go
3
to
when I
Buds?
first started 3. It was terrible.
Yeah, I had to do them in sets of 1 when I first started, when I was like, I'm going to be a SEAL, and I had someone spot me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I followed the warning order, you know, the pamphlet that they had.
same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I followed that to a T. That's all. People are like, what do you do to prepare for VUDs? I was like, I followed the warning
Yeah,
order. That's
that and
all I
Stu
did.
Smith is what
I was
I
like,
did, yeah.
I literally did exactly what they said to do on the sheet. Fucking passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started with 1 rest.
That's it. Being a new guy.
You know.
Like anything you start, that's kind of the magic of starting anything new. Is like you get to be. It's not that you have to be. You get to be a new guy again.
Yeah, you get
have
to
a new
experience growth again.
Exactly.
Quite frankly,
And success again.
a steep curve
point.
too, because there's like that. And if you can learn how to embrace that from like a Tom Cruise perspective, I mean, like, say what you will about him as an actor, but man, the guy can fly a fucking plane,
phenomenal.
jump out of a plane. Fucking, I saw a video of him on YouTube where he was learning how to use a lathe back when he was probably younger than me. Like, the guy's got a thirst for life, and
Yeah.
he understands that there's a period where you're learning something and you suck at it and it's uncomfortable. Just lean into it.
That's the way it goes.
And learn to enjoy it.
That's part of the magic of it.
Yeah, that is part of
Yeah.
the magic of it. And I mean, I try and embrace that sentiment. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously. But
Yeah, because it's uncomfortable, man. And I know
Yeah.
now, it like you said, learn to love it, because that's really what life is. Like, how boring would it be if the best you are today is the best you ever are?
That would
and
fucking suck.
And you never learn anything more, and you never get better
Yeah.
at anything new. Like, that would be so fucking terrible.
Also, how proud are you when you conquered, fucking 10 pull-ups when a couple months ago you were doing 1? Or when you could
Very
pass a
proud.
pistol qual,
Yeah.
and then now you're fucking slinging steel. And it's like those little bits of increments, like now you are literally a renaissance man. Like, you're a jack of all trades. Like, JTAC school was the hardest thing I ever fucking went through. And, like, I'm just not a math guy. And then sniper school, like, I thought
there's a
would be
lot of
way
math
harder.
in sniper. I mean,
Yeah,
at least
it's
when I went
formulas.
through.
It's
You're a
formulas.
sniper too, right?
Yeah, it's formulas. So, like, A plus B will equal C. I just need to find this and I need to find that.
Yeah.
And then double check your math, as opposed to, like, finding Y.
Yeah.
So, like, that part was easier for me. I'm more of a trig guy than a calculus guy. But accomplishing those tasks, and then when everybody's looking at you like you're the fucking black sheep, and now you come to them with a new, school certificate under your belt, and they're like, damn.
you did it.
And it just, like, builds you up a little
Yeah.
bit more and a little bit more, and that gives you more confidence
Exactly.
to tackle these next problems that are even more exponentially difficult. And then before you know it, you're like, fuck.
That's
I'm
a
the
good,
shit.
That's a really good point. I think a lot of people, and I don't know if this is especially in Spec Ops, but I think it might be. There's a lot of people who achieve something that's difficult or at a high level, whether that's pro athletes or doctor, lawyer, Spec Ops, or whatever achievements you have. A lot of people get to a certain point where they're like, "Oh, I'm good. I don't need to learn anything more," and then.
It's
then
like
they're
that
the
in the
fucking-
teams. It's why a
yeah.
lot of people didn't go to sniper, because it has a high failure rate for
hard.
school.
Yeah,
That was
for
those
follow-up.
SF
Yeah.
dudes
School.
you were deployed with.
Yeah, and then you're the Uncle Ricos, like back in my day.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what? You got to do something new, man. You got to do something new. You got to improve yourself all the fucking time, whether that's physically setting a goal, whether it's pull-ups, squat, bench, whatever you're fucking running, whatever your fucking goal is. But I think you always, as a man, as a person, as a human that wants to progress, I think it's super important that you set these goals for yourself that are difficult but achievable, because a man needs a mission. Whether you're in the military or out of the military, a man needs a mission, a person needs a mission. And when you don't have those, dude, it's detrimental to your mental health. It's detrimental to, like, people are meant to stagnate. People are meant to progress. People are meant to solve fucking problems and get better. And if you don't do that, I think you're leaving a lot on the table for what you could be.
I'd push back on that just slightly from the perspective of that you don't have to, but it's good for you to be challenged.
Yeah.
Whether that's challenging yourself or just the environment challenging you, because otherwise you get what we have today, which is
You're good enough the way you are. No.
people with this worldview of, and again, not to talk politics, but it's just like, we live in a great place. I mean, everybody here is deployed. We know what exists outside the borders of our country.
Yeah.
And it's
super lucky to be born in
we're
America.
so lucky to be here. This place is not the worst country on the planet that some people would contend it is, And like, without that challenge, that daily challenge, whether it's internal or external, I think you can lose touch with reality.
Yeah. Well,
that's where I felt I was
exactly.
last year. Like, for sure. Like, I didn't have any of, like, that same drive that drove me to, like, go to every school I wanted to go to, or even didn't want to go to, like the hardest ones. Like, now as a 38-year-old civilian that doesn't have that anymore, then, like, I saw that, like, ISPAS were that challenge of just like the mind over
interesting.
matter, where it's
I
like,
have one at home.
fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck those things. Like, if you were to ask me at 6 a.m. to go in one, I'm like, nah, I'm a bitch. But, like, get me out of a sauna after a sick-ass workout, then I'm all about going in it, because it's a little bit more comfortable. But then it's, like, mind over matter, and then I'll put on, like, a Pink Floyd song for, like, 8 minutes in one, and I'm like, just the end of the song. And it's like, fuck, another chorus? as opposed to like a Blink-182 song that's 3 minutes. But that was how I kind of like put it in my own head. I'm like, put on like a good long song. It's just a song, dude. It's kind of like when I was doing breath work for free diving. It's like just like that mind over matter. But that's what I was lacking as a retired military guy, was just like that. Yeah. It was always a mind over matter, like email battle, and not mind over matter. It was a wordsmithing email battle with a client to try to garner another paycheck. It wasn't physicality, and I was missing the physicality out of life, and like that drive that I'm currently. I feel like I'm back on the right track.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of ways to accomplish that. You know what I mean? Like it could be an ice bath. It could be a monetary goal. It could be a physical goal. It could be a business goal, whatever it is. But I think you need to have something. I can't imagine going through life without a goal or a mission, because like no matter how much money you have, I'm like,
a lot of people do though, Ryan. Like
that
they
blows
just kinda,
my mind. That blows my mind.
A lot of people are not like us,
Well, my group now that I hang out with is mainly other entrepreneurs. And it's the most similar mindset to team guys I've ever found, because a lot of guys I talk to now have done exits that are pretty good. You've done a great exit. Like
I was just fortunate to be along for the ride, really. But I mean, yes, I did do one.
But I mean, a lot of them had really good exits where they could never work again. But also, I've never met a single person who had a good exit who could have done nothing, who ended up doing nothing. Because all these people who get to that point, they're driven, they're goal oriented, they do shit, and they get to the point where they don't have to do anything. Some of them, they all take a break. Sometimes that break is 2 weeks. Sometimes the longest I've ever heard of anybody taking a break is 1.5 years, but they always go back to doing shit. Because if you're a doer, you do shit. That's your mission. Like, you find shit to do.
I mean, for me, like if I could be left to my own devices without having a job, right, to earn income, I would fill my days with all kinds of shit. I would I'd go to like Pilates. I would go climbing all the time. I dance, like I do Latin dancing and take private lessons. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I would get a Spanish tutor. I would go back to school and learn how to become a certified electrician. Like there's a plethora of things.
You know what I mean?
And those are all things that I would legitimately do right now if I had the cash and didn't have to do a 9 to 5. I mean, my 9 to 5 is great right now too. So, I mean, I work for a great company. We're trying to scale and all that kind of stuff, very similar to Biohaven, but in a completely different industry. But if I would not ever like, yep, this is what I'm going to do. I couldn't do that. I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. It's like whatever, like, but you have goals, whether that's dancing or learning a new skill or whatever it is. But
like climb the 7 summits. I think that would be fucking baller. But that's expensive though too. Yeah.
Yeah,
no thanks.
So I think if anybody's listening, and if anybody's listening, they're struggling with that, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have any direction." I mean, like, fucking pick something. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Like, learn guitar, learn dance, learn singing, learn welding, learn whatever the fuck it is. Pick fucking something and throw yourself into it.
I'm getting my captain's license here soon.
Because nice. Cool. I mean, that's something that I would like to do too eventually. It's just a question of like time,
Yeah, bandwidth is real.
Bandwidth is a real fucking problem. I think with all of us collectively. And I'm like 100%. Trying to figure it out. I'm like, I went to college when I was working full time, and I'm like, fuck it, dude, I can do this. And like the VA is paying for it. But like, I love nothing more, especially for an Army dude, to like be out at sea and be on the ocean. And I want to know the intricacies of a boat. I want to know how to figure things out. I want to know how to read a nautical map. Like, these are things that are completely foreign to me.
That's cool.
And that's why I went to college for a discipline that like I knew nothing about. It's like I could go and get an easy degree and collect my fucking BAH. But why not round myself out and study something I know fuck all about? And now it's principles and art theory, but which also includes sociology, and like how to get people to do what you want to do with colors and imagery and like all that shit. I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah, there's unlimited amount of things that you could do with your life, man. I don't know how people get to the end of whatever their initial thing is and just be like, oh, I'm done.
That's
Like, what
why
the fuck?
I
don't get it.
I love and admire like when Nick Ox was on.
He's a
Like,
wild man.
Nick is crazy,
Fucker just
dude.
done his shit, but then he's like,
He's
you know
so
what?
motivating.
I want to
Like-
sunburn my dick and sail around the world.
Yeah, dude.
I don't believe he says nobody, but like I admire that. Like fuck it. Like
Yeah.
He's
dude,
so fucking smart.
yeah.
Yeah, crazy smart.
Yeah.
That's wild
Yeah, and
stuff,
he just
man.
like him and like his story doing whatever the fuck he wants after everything that he's accomplished, and then also probably the easy road that he could have gone and make fucking $500,000 $1 million. You know, doing whatever. But he's like, nah, I want to sail around the world butt naked with a bunch of weirdos that I'm picking up in Guatemala or you know,
hitchhiking in Puerto Rico or something.
On a boat. Who
roads,
hitchhikes?
wild shit.
You've had him on here then?
Yeah, he was on a couple episodes ago, man. Like, holy shit,
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
man. I've known
He's
the guy.
very inspiring.
He is.
Yeah, I've known him a long time. I learned 95% more about him from the podcast. I had no idea he did all that
Same.
shit.
I just knew he made
was
some
wild.
weird fucking healthy treats, and like he was actually the
Did he
first.
tell you
team-
about his Grizzle King stuff?
Yeah, yeah, dude. He's a hard, like he's a small dude, but he's a hard motherfucker, dude. Like he used to take these 72-pound kettlebells and run up Cow's Mountain fucking barefoot.
I did not know that.
That's
yeah,
half.
barefoot.
Dude, he's 145 pounds. That's half his body weight running barefoot up Cow's Mountain.
That's
for
insane.
fucking fun. Like, god
He would
damn,
be a
bro.
great POW.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I mean, nothing but love, obviously, and fucking homage and respect to our POWs. But fucking Nick, like, we've met those kind of maniacal guys that like just have no quit in them. Like, there was that movie about the POWs like holding
yeah.
logs above their head and just like not quitting. That's him. Dude, like you could
100%.
do anything to him and like he would die before you'd ever quit.
Yeah, man, we've had some interesting characters on
Yeah,
the
I
show,
bet.
man.
Not to
Yeah.
cut this short, but I work East Coast hours, so I'm gonna have to cut it short here
Yeah,
before
well,
too
let's-
long.
As long as you
Let's-
promise to come on again, because
I would love to.
And we're gonna leave Kevin out of the fucking next one because I gotta, dude.
I feel like we lost the comic relief.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get a chance to
Oh, well, let's say
promote
that.
my
yeah, totally.
my buddies. I mean, I've got a bunch of companies where like guys that the guys that I deployed with at Team 4,
Yeah.
like we're really tight, because I mean it's hard not to have that kind of experience and not be tight.
All right, we're coming back in. Yes, we're gonna clap.
Yeah,
clap.
yeah.
So on this, we left this.
We were talking about coming full circle.
Yeah. So full circle. When you told that story in the beginning about having that teacher who told you you weren't going to amount to shit, I wanted to ask at the time, but I'm so glad it didn't because now we're come full circle to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was a junior geometry class. I did not do well in high school, like we said. So as a little recap, I failed geometry the first time I tried it. Went back. They put me back in with the same teacher who I hated. And I'm struggling again, but like trying to make it work. I mean, this was before like ADHD was widely understood, which I have lied about because I don't think you can have ADHD and be in the teams, which is ridiculous because it's good for you
I don't even think
in the
they asked
teams.
at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, so she pulled me up in front of the class, was like, Mr. Hake is a loser and he will never make anything of himself. And I'm like,
damn, bro.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, right.
Noted.
Fast forward to just this last September, my 30-year class reunion. I set it up because the class, our class president was just kind of like over it, washed his hands of the thing. It's like somebody else can do it. I'm like, I'll fucking do it. Like this is easy.
Yeah.
Set up an event, go back to Nebraska, do the event, and
It looks like the Oregon Trail going back.
yeah, kind of. It's so funny as I bought my daughter a cup that said, "You have caught dysentery," and it has the little Oregon Trail thing. It's a coffee mug.
She's like, what the fuck is this?
She's thought it was hilarious. But yeah, so fast forward to this September, and I'm talking with people, and one of the guys that I know from high school is his wife is on the board of Calpi High, and she was like, hey, we have this distinguished alumni thing. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Would you mind if we submit you for it? I'm like, are you serious right now? Well, not only did she submit me for it, but I won.
Nice.
And I'm being presented an award next month at the high school. I'm speaking to the entire student body. And I'm just like, holy shit, this is so fucking crazy. Because of all the Hakeys that went to that school, if someone were to pick, I would be the least likely one because I was the punk rock loser that people were just like, you're a degenerate, you're never going to make anything of yourself. And here I am going to be addressing the student body and am awarded with this distinguished alumni. And my picture's literally going up on the wall in the main hallway.
And they're on their fourth tornado double wide.
Is the teacher still there?
No, and this is where it gets really good. She is no longer part of the faculty and was arrested for embezzling funds from the teacher's fund.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's a thing.
You got to throw that in your speech.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Please do it.
Yeah, I am working on it.
Because no one's going to tell you no.
Oh,
And
you haven't gone to it yet?
No, it's next month.
Shit. Oh,
It's
that's
next
awesome.
month. Yeah.
What's
So by the time this airs, it'll probably be, I'm not sure what your guys' delay time is.
Oh,
but
this
yeah.
one's next week.
yeah? This
Oh, no
Friday,
shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're a little
well.
backtracked because Kevin was in Morocco.
We're like, how do you like them apples, Mrs. Dick Smith?
Yeah. I'm not sure where she's at. I'm pretty sure she's not part of the faculty anymore.
she ain't listening to this podcast.
Yeah, she's definitely not listening to this podcast.
She's out protesting ice somewhere.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so that's the full circle moment
Dude,
there.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm interested. Do you have any things planned for this speech? Like, what's it look like so far?
I mean, it's kind of like, boy, this is surreal. It's going to be. I'm going to touch on elements of like the. I shouldn't be the person here. Essentially, it's like this is really crazy. It is pretty surreal when they told me they're like, yeah, hey, you've got this. You've been awarded this, and you're going to be speaking to the student body. It's like, if the faculty at that time is still around, they would look up at me and be like, wow, I never thought you'd be here.
So
That's for sure.
So you're speaking to. I mean, obviously, this
I'm going
is
to
going
talk
to go out.
about, yeah, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I talked about here, which is like I had a series of bad decisions, but basically was able to turn my life around
You went
because I
to
made a
fucking
choice.
Harvard, voted least likely to succeed. You went to Harvard. You went to the SEAL teams.
Well, I didn't go to Harvard, but
Or no, where'd you go for your master's program?
I went to USC.
USC.
Yeah.
I went to
Even
USC.
better.
But I didn't like finish my degree. Like I got my high school girlfriend pregnant. I dropped out, like yada, yada, yada. Just like.
So are you speaking to the other people from your class, or are you speaking to the class that's graduating
the current,
now?
like the
Current
entire
class.
student body?
Yeah, that's going
Like
to be.
there's an assembly
That's going to be
happening.
interesting, man. You got to
Yeah.
film that, bro. That's going to be
I
cool.
will. Yeah.
I would also
Yeah.
take it seriously, man.
My parents are
because
going to be there. So like.
You're
That's
the
pretty cool.
probably most important person that they're going to hear from, maybe ever, if not in a long time.
And also, too, I mean, the thing is, aging, you're 1 year, I'm 48. Are you 48, 49?
49.
49, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We are old men now.
Yeah, but we look great, bro. But you
I'd say
look
that.
jacked. You got to get a set of hair. Like, you're fucking, like, you're
Thank
a
you.
stud.
Thank you.
So there's a lot to be
Got
said
good
for that.
genes.
There's a lot to be said for and you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be said for just durability, And I think there's a lot of people who.
Well, I didn't let people tell me who I was.
That's a good angle.
Like I didn't let people tell me who I was.
That's a great
It
angle.
was just like, yeah, I didn't fit in, and like I didn't give a shit. I constantly had people telling me that I was this loser. Actually, something that I may include is that I took a series of tests, and like long form tests I never did well on. And then we took this test, I think it was when I was a junior, and or maybe it was when I was a sophomore, but there was a test that they discontinued, and it was 90-second like little test bits. It was either 3 minutes or 90 seconds. I can't remember which one it was. But it was really short. And you had like 14 different brackets, and you had to test out on things.
Like the Wonderlick?
I can't remember. I think it might be. But all other standardized tests, like I sucked at. And so it was just reinforcing this narrative from people, from the staff and stuff that I've been told most of my my scholastic career, if you will, that I was stupid and that I was, just kind of a deadbeat. And then we were sitting in class and we were going to review it together as a class. And I'll never forget this. And I was looking at my numbers and I'm just like, I really don't want to be here right now. I really don't need to hear that I'm some sort of loser again and that I'm not smart. And I was looking at these numbers and they were saying, this is what your normal range should be. And I was like, mine is way above where it should be. And I looked at one of my best friends and he and I are still friends to this day. And I was like, hey man, what did you get here? And he was like, oh, I got this. And I was like, is this right? I was like, this can't be right. And he looked at me and he goes, holy shit. And he goes, he called the teacher over. The guy's name was Mr. Walcott. Regrettably, he's passed, but he was like one of the few teachers that like believed in me, if you will. And he came over and looked at my test and he was like, God damn. And he was like, holy shit. And then there's like something out of a movie. People like clustered around my desk and they were like pointing at my scores.
What
and
a
it was like the
beautiful mind.
first time that I was like, oh shit, maybe I am actually smart. And from that moment, it was just kind of, yeah, I'm not going to let people fucking tell me what to do. Fuck this bullshit.
That's sick.
Like you're not going to define me as like some sort of loser. Like, go fuck yourself. I'll figure it out. And like, I had a chief in the regular Navy that was just like, you're going to fail. And I'm like, every time when that boat was fucking on my head, or I was just like, there is no fucking way I am quitting. And
There's
that,
a lot
like,
to be said for negative automation, man.
Yep.
coming full circle, like not to talk too much about buds, but like when I was in it and I'd seen what the alternative was, as much as those 3 years in the fleet were challenging and something that I was just like, God damn, I don't want to be here. I think that if I would have gone right to buds, I could have washed out, man. Like I don't know if I would have been properly motivated in those 3 years. Like
More level of maturity.
yeah,
I think
like
something
I
we're
was
supposed
young and dumb and, you know, not full of
Yeah.
cum because my girlfriend was pregnant. So,
Drain that
Well,
lizard.
there's a great quote by Einstein where he goes, I'm going to fuck it up, of course, but essentially it's, if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, the fish will forever go through its
I know
life
what you're talking
thinking that
about.
it's dumb.
Yeah.
You got to find a lane, man. I found that very applicable too with finding employees, because sometimes I screwed this up where we had great employees and we just had them in the wrong position or the wrong role, and we're like, hey, you're really good at this, but you kind of not. This isn't your forte. And we put them in another role, and they were really good. So I think there's a lot to be said for just finding your lane and then pressing on the accelerator.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
So let's go into said cigar company.
Oh, yeah, real
and,
quick. I need to,
current endeavors.
well, this is Tenenbro Cigars. So this is a buddy of mine that Ryan and I actually put through selection. He's still active duty, but this is his solo venture, and I just wanted to promote this. It's a great cigar company. You can find it on Instagram. Just search this, and you should be able to see some of the merch. Tag him in it. This is for you guys. He was only able to send one shirt. It's an XL, so it won't fit Kevin. It'll look like his little brothers.
It'll fit Ryan. It goes up in scale. I'm LXL and then double XL.
Yeah,
we got
triple.
Yeah, it depends on the hot dogs.
It's more to accommodate Kevin's ego than anything. But, he's not here to defend himself, but we need some comic relief.
No,
right?
they sent me a bunch of cigars, but they're
pretty good.
They're dope, man. I have to smoke fake cigars now after the heart attack, so I'm not supposed to take
I didn't know you had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 months ago. But
Fake cigars?
Yeah.
What's a fake cigar?
Yeah, I had to look a lot. I had to go find them, bro. So I can't smoke real cigars now, but I'm also not supposed to take fucking Zens or whatever.
I'll take all your old ones.
Yeah, so
Maybe you
Dude,
should
he's
take
got
that
a
advice.
Baller Instagram.
He does. Yeah, it's really well.
Baller.
That's
dope
all.
stuff,
That's
man.
all him. That's
beautiful
all him.
stuff. And you're a photography guy.
Yeah,
Like, he's got
I'm
beautiful
a
stuff.
media marketing photo video guy. This shit's fucking lit, dude.
Maybe you should talk to him. So
I'll drop it into his DMs. I know quite a few of his friends where he's at. Yeah, hopefully he'll give me the time of day, but I would love a couple of cigars and shoot a bunch of photos.
for sure.
Yeah, I have the cigars. I can't smoke them, so I'll give them to you. Yeah,
They're good.
I love your hand-me-downs.
They're good.
Dude, I got his Rolex, his watch, his automatic watch. Like,
It's not a hand-me-down.
case.
You bought it, bro.
That's true.
Yeah. No, it's
Nice.
dope stuff, man. I love keeping things in the community too, like not just the SEAL community, but like our little group community. You know, it's just I think everybody needs
I remember when you were
community.
selling that car, that Camaro, and I wanted to
Oh,
get it, and
yeah.
I just couldn't. I was like, fuck, I want to get this so bad.
I don't think you would have liked it,
I
bro.
think Beato's
Yeah.
selling his.
Is he really?
don't
That
know.
thing's
It
a
looks
beast,
so
bro.
badass, though. But,
It looks, but
It's styled.
it's that thing's way better than my Camaro. It's also 10 times the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else you got going on now? Any future endeavors? You're still private on Instagram because I tried to look you up.
Oh, I am private on Instagram.
Yeah.
I do have a public Instagram for my consulting company, which is, in and out of hibernation. I've got a full-time gig right now for a mortgage broker. Then I'm a part of the leadership team, and we're scaling the organization. I'll be doing that for
Oh, cool.
a few years until...
Do you want to plug them or is that?
Oh, yeah, it's Go Rascal. They're based out of Brooklyn. Great company. Love that place. Got a great team around us. Hopefully, this isn't too risque for them, but I don't think it will be.
No, I think these are great
But
stories, man. It's just life.
It's a great company. I do still have some stuff for my consulting company, Fatal Flaw.
Is that the Instagram?
Yeah, that's the Instagram that's public. Message me for my private Instagram, and I'll plug you in. But
Drop
yeah,
in your DMs.
I keep my private life private, or I try to at least have some modicum.
Do you want us to tag it
you
know. in the tags on everything, or
Yeah,
what?
sure. Tag Fatal Flaw. I have a website, which I don't curate very often, but I literally have people occasionally reach out for leadership consulting and stuff like that, which I do in a 1Z, 2Z capacity. And then just like me for goals, I'm just trying to, I've got 3 like primary personal goals this year, which is just like get back to the warrior physique that I used to have after the last surgery, which has been really challenging to do. I miss the 6-pack and I want it back, and like some other physical things. And I actually climb not too far from here at the Grotto. I don't know if you guys ever go there.
No shit,
It's
no.
great. Yeah, it's a bouldering gym. It's badass. But yeah, just trying to live life, man. Like,
What are your 3 goals that you have?
well, I have like a physical goal, I have an intellectual goal, and then I have like a career goal.
Do you want to share those?
Yeah, so like my physical goal is to reclaim my warrior physique, just from a general perspective, and get back to where I'm cut and look as good as the Spartan that's on my arm here, or better. Intellectually, I want to learn Spanish and get back into guitar and like embrace the music side. Because like it was no bullshit. Like I did study music briefly in my quest to find myself, and I love music, and I want to return to that. And it's just good to be challenged intellectually, and
Yeah,
music is
100%.
challenging. And then of course learning a new language is challenging as well too. My girlfriend, she speaks Spanish and Cantonese and English, and like I hate her. Because she could just do it so easily. But yeah, and then from a professional perspective, like Go Rascal is great. I love working there. I'll be working there for a few years at the very least. But at some point, I really want to dip my toe back into entrepreneurship, and I just don't know what that means. I don't know what that is, because I've done consulting. I do like consulting. I've done coaching. I don't like coaching. I think a lot of people that were my coaching clients were just kind of like half-ass, and they don't follow through, and that's frustrating because I'm used to
Be better.
it's like be better. Well, what? Just be fucking better. So I'd like to find my goal for this year is to find the way ahead for entrepreneurship, for when my time with Go Rascal, when it's time to amicably part ways, because like I'm not going to stay there forever. Like nobody does. I'm not going to do another team guy stint where I'm in 22 years.
Right.
That's just not going to happen. There's so much more to life than that, and I don't know what that is. And so the best time to figure out something is when you've got a gig that you do enjoy and appreciate, and because there's no pressure, if you will. And I've definitely had some instances of pressure in my time in the civilian sector where I found myself out of work quite a few times, in such a short period of time. But there's been some watershed moments. We've got COVID, we've got some other things, and you're just like, fuck, I need to figure something else out.
Yeah, it's a wild journey, man.
For sure.
I personally love the entrepreneurship trajectory, but goddamn, dude, it is by far the hardest thing I've ever fucking done, man. It is.
To be your own boss is beautiful, though. You know,
Fucking
like,
A.
if it's going well, like when I first got
going
out,
well, yes.
yeah, when I first got out, and you know, I was moonlighting as a CQC instructor, and then also doing Fatal Flaw, and I was making more money than I'd ever made in my entire fucking life, and I was still married, still had the kids, still had the house, and all that stuff. I was like, for that brief window, I saw that shining hill in the distance, and I was like, this is fucking great. And I would like to return to that feeling, if you will, where I'm in charge of my own destiny. And for the effort that I put in directly correlates into reward for me.
Yep.
Right.
And whilst, like I said, Go Rascal is great, like as hard as I work, it doesn't, like, I don't have.
You're still making somebody else money.
I'm still making somebody else money, which is fine. That's part of the gig. That's part of the agreement, which I entered into willingly.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, there's a lot to be said for that.
The exchange
And-
of stability. And
yeah,
everything else, yeah.
for sure. And like, well, something that drove me there as well was I missed being part of a team.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
I missed being part of a team. And
Especially a good
entrepreneurship can
team.
be very lonely if you don't have partners.
I was gonna
And
say
you need
that,
the
yeah.
right type of partners too.
Yeah.
And so what does that look like? That's a whole other question.
Yeah, it's been, fuck, man. It's a wild fucking ride, man. Like I enjoy it, but I do question it. I mean, like, we can do it after the thing, but like that's a whole other fucking thing. Coda's been with me we've been like 10 years. We've been rocking together. It's been a long fucking time, man. He's seen me at a lot of different trajectories and a lot of different fucking places, and it's like right now we're in a trough, and it's hard. Like January, friends, we're filming this in early or February, but January is tough for us because it's a 3 pay period month, so our payroll is 50% higher this month, and then we have a lot of issues with like credit cards are because that whole thing with Trump put which is great.
The cap on APR.
He capped the APR,
cap, yeah.
which is awesome. But obviously, what's going to happen next is the credit card company is going to lower their exposure, so they're going to limit the credit they extend. So now all our credit cards got like, we used to have some cushion with everything, and they're like, hey, by the way, I know you're minimum paying with this, but you have no extra credit now, and you need to pay off everything. We're like, motherfucker, dude, thanks for
Yeah.
the fucking heads up. We got like 5 days heads up on that. So it's just one of
That's
those things,
rough.
man. Yeah, it's rough, but I mean, it'll all work out. It always does. This is just part of the fucking process. But I can't imagine doing anything else. You know, like you've been in the game a long time. Like it's just,
I hated working for other people.
yeah.
Just because I always thought I could do it better.
I'm not a very good employee either. So it's, yeah. This is pretty much my only fucking option.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could have an entrepreneur sync and you guys can help me figure it out at some point.
Well, I was thinking about this too, and not to side quest this too much, but this might be
I like
useful.
side quests.
This might be useful for the audience too. Is I've been doing this thing every year on my birthday. We do a get together, rent a nice Airbnb, and just get people together.
I missed this year.
Yeah, it's super fun, man. I have a great time with it. You were able to show up this year, and it's super, like, it's just such a good fucking experience to get all my friends together, and I have a good time, but what really, really drives it for me is to see everybody else that I really respect, and they're all fucking killers, bro. I mean, this is like 50 to 70 people that are, I mean, you were there, bro. It's like the conversations that happen, these are all fucking apex predators, like, super good, like world-class people at what they do, and so they're all mingling and having conversations, and it was so rewarding to me to see some person who's top of the game in marketing meet somebody who's top of the game in sales and this other thing, top of the game in whatever, and the deals that they're making in this venue.
That's cool.
That's what I
It was
noticed.
fucking dope, dude. It was really cool. So I think what we're going to start doing, and this is the thing that might be useful for the audience, is I was having a conversation with Disney the other day. She's like, well, what do you like about these things? And I'm like, hey, I like the ability to connect and with me, but also connect other people, so I can do this more often without spending, $8-10 grand every fucking time. So what we're going to start doing is putting together little dinners, like once a month, little dinners where we get like people who are interested in B2B stuff, people who are interested in DTC stuff, people who are interested in e-com, in marketing or whatever, or just veteran dinners. Put stuff together with people who I think
I think that would be really cool.
It'd be super fun.
Like you could call it the brain trust, or something to that effect. Just getting people together that are driven to do something, you know,
Yeah.
or just driven individuals.
I usually call the groups the main characters meeting.
Oh, that's cool.
Just because it's fun. But I think we're going to start doing that. And I think everybody can and should do that, because that's the thing too, is like you get like 6 to 12 people together. It's relatively inexpensive because everybody kind of pays their own dinner. All you have to do is set it up and put it together. It's just a little bit of legwork. But it's so rewarding, man. And all of this is an extension of just the podcast and reaching out to people and reconnecting and just having these conversations. And I think that's a big part of what's missing in a lot of people's lives, whether you're a veteran or whatever your life is. Like, dude, people need community. People need friends. People need communication.
Also, you don't know what you don't know until you start asking people. And same with like the whole
very true.
networking aspect. And like, I mean, so many fucking light bulbs have gone off in my life and in my head by having a conversation with somebody that I never would have expected. And like, dude, we are all so mutually beneficial. And especially now in the entrepreneurial world, like, you know, you got your JTACs, you got your fucking medics, you got, or your deltas, like you got your breachers, like, and now in the civilian aspect where we all have our own individual disciplines, you put that together, and especially just like on a consulting basis and not like a business partnership basis,
just share information.
Like, dude, sky's the limit.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's free. All you got to pay for is your own part of dinner.
Yeah, all these mistakes learned, you are now alleviating potentially hundreds, if not millions of dollars in mistakes just by having a great conversation with the people that are vetted.
Yeah, I almost lost my whole business like 4 or 5 years ago because of some mistakes that I made, or it was like $500,000 in the hole, and I owed a friend of mine over $300,000, and I had $30,000 in the bank.
God
like,
damn.
Right. I'm like, it's different than owing a bank or whatever money. Like, you owe your friend $300,000. Like, that's a whole different feeling, right?
Yeah.
And because he owns the print shop that we partner with. And I'm like, God dang, bro. And the reason I was able to pull out of that and the solution that was presented was because I was having open and honest conversations with my friends. I'm like, bro, I'm fucked. I don't know what to do in this situation. I don't know how to fix this. And then a friend of mine connected me with another friend of mine. He reminded me that he does loans. And he's like, oh, bro, I got you. Get you a $500,000 loan for SBA for 2.9% over 30 years. And you don't have to pay anything back for 18 months. I'm like, literally saved my fucking business, dude.
Yeah.
Saved my entire fucking business from being open and honest about the shit's hard, bro. Being open and honest about what's going on, talking with people, and then allowing people to help you in these situations, man. But if I didn't have that, I don't know what the fuck I would have done. And there's cycles. These things happen, and business is fucking hard. And I think if you can lean on other people, I mean, that was my main problem, but everybody has different problems. But if you talk about it with other people, you usually find somebody who's been through something similar. And how did you solve this? And they're like, oh, I talked to so-and-so and they got this. And that is such a powerful connection, man. I think everybody already has that in their network. They're just too scared to admit that they're going through something fucking rough. And I think just the power of connection and community and conversation with people is a very underrated thing. And I think if more people just talk to people, they'd have, man, most problems are easily solvable. You just got to find the right person.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. So we're going to do this. I'll obviously, we're going to invite you. This is going to be fucking dope.
Oh,
Yeah. And we're going to have you back.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I would love to. I'm flattered that you guys find me interesting enough to talk to me.
Oh, bro, we're like almost 3.5 hours, bro. This is dope. And we still got to go to like another, like, we could do an episode too.
Yeah, there's
I'm
probably
curious to
no-
hear the comments and feedback. For sure.
Careful what you ask for. If anything, everybody's going
That
to tell
guy's a fucking
Kevin to shut the fuck up. I talk too much.
That guy's
blah, blah,
pants
blah.
are way too tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always that. But honestly, I think what we hear, number one, the most common feedback from people we hear is that just the honesty, like just being truthful about what's going on and the problems that we face. Because everybody's going through it. They just don't talk to. A lot of people don't have people to talk to. So I think them hearing us being open about the things that we failed at and the things that we are not
Oh
good
my
at.
God, we didn't even touch on that shit. I've
know.
got a laundry list of things for that sucker. It's like Bad Ideas by Greg.
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
it's
totally.
like, ooh.
Yeah, but I think
I think this has been a phenomenal episode, man. And thank you
good,
so much
man.
for coming on and sharing all
for
this
sure.
these stories, and like, this has been a fucking really dope episode, man.
For sure.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Any saved rounds, alibis, anything you want to shout out or?
Oh, no, I think I
guys.
did all my shout-outs throughout the thing. You guys pieced them together, but yeah, I would love to come back. Grateful for the experience. I love doing this shit. I love dialogue and engaging. It's my jam. So,
When we first talked, he's like, 3 fucking hours? The fuck are we talking about 3 hours? I'm like, bro, it always goes 3 hours.
I mean, I love it. I mean, it's great.
We originally tried to stay at like 60 or 90.
Yeah.
And blew
Like,
past
no,
it every
we're
time.
like, yeah, it's almost
It's just
always this,
it's long form, you know.
Because it takes a
long-form
good 45
dialogue.
to get warmed up. And then
There's a way to life hack that though, with a pre-game, if you will, like get things going. But then again, you might lose.
you
some
lose a
good-
lot of it.
Lose good
Yeah,
content.
you
Well,
lose a lot of
that's
it.
why we started filming the pre and then the breaks on Patreon.
Yeah.
Because we were like, dude, there's so much stuff that like would be so good. We just don't catch it.
Like a bunch of bitches in a hair salon.
That's so true.
That actually, sadly,
But with
describes our
cocktails.
podcast a lot. That totally does.
It just goes. Because I asked the same thing to my wife. I'm like, what the fuck were you there for so long? She's like, oh, it's going. I'm like, all right,
well,
I don't get it.
Shit, yeah, my girlfriend, you know,
Yeah.
she's like, "Are you okay?
Are you alive? Did they kidnap you?
You come back right now.
Are you fucking somebody else?"
Not yet.
I see you're near convoy.
Guys, talk louder in the background.
Gotta bring that nice dick home. All right, brother. Thank you so much,
All right,
man.
man.
This is
Absolute
great.
pleasure, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
It's nice
All
meeting you.
right, folks. Take peace.